Welcome to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You're watching our coverage of CRL Collegiate Rocket League. Boise State still fighting in the CRL qualifiers, looking to make their first appearance in the final since 2017. They'll have to stand atop a 64-team division to accomplish that. My name is Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Bird Rain to call all of the action for you tonight. And we got a lot of great gameplay lined up because this particular squad that we have, Baynock, Cosmo, and Lionbuster, they have been with Boise State Esports for so long, and CRL has been the one evasive thing that's evaded them for so long. It looks like this might be the year.
All right, so it's been a while since I've been on desk for one of our Boise State Rocket League broadcasts, and Baynock and Cosmobuster are two names I'm very familiar with. However, can you tell me about the play style of our kind of newer players?
Yeah, Lions is a great new player. He really just kind of slots right in. He's been the one to make a lot of great showy plays. I mean, I think he fits into the play style that Baynock and Cosmo bring to the table of that great communication in midair, those mid-air passing, the acrobatics that Boise State pulls off so well. He does a really good job at that. And with him being added into the mix, I think this squad has a real chance.
All right, well, let's hope Lions can actually bring that chance to fruition. I hope to see some fantastic Rocket League play tonight, of course, because this is definitely one of my favorite games.
Well, to just tell you how this is going to work, Boise State starts in the third qualifier right now. They won the first one and had a really good showing in the second one, but there are huge hurdles to meet in order to get to the finals. It's 3v3 soccer, best of 3, double elimination, open qualifiers for CRL playoffs, and teams get points based on their finish. Boise State has won 3 of these events so far. The other squad already being very dominant, so we want to get both our teams there. 6 Rocket League players there to represent the Broncos, hopefully an all-Bronco final, if it would lead to that.
I love seeing an all-Bronco final. It's happened on a rare occasion, but it kind of hurts my heart a little bit because it's like siblings going after each other, but on the same time, it's kind of like, you gotta, one-up your best friends every now and again.
Peyton and Eli Manning, if you will. Well, let's take a look overall at the lineup that we have to start off. We've been talking about Baynock, Cosmobuster, and Lions. And, of course, those 3 players, if they want to perform at their very best, then we have some keys to help them do that. And those are Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, and that's to create mistakes, punish the double commit, don't overstay, and bump and demo opponents to disrupt. Doc's keys to the game brought to you by Drop-In In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. We got the first match all lined up for us. It looks like this is going to be Boise State versus Cal Poly. So can Boise State start off the day all right? You never want to, in a double elimination, automatically be bumped down to the lower bracket, as it were. So Boise State wants to start this off right, not start with any lead weighing down their shoes, and let's see how it is. I already hear the cars starting up, and here we go. Boise State and CRL Qualifier. They're going to have their work cut out for them immediately, it looks like.
Under 10 seconds, Cal Poly getting a first goal can be a lead into the remainder of the story. However, we've typically seen that first goal not mean a whole lot in Rocket League after the first 30 seconds of the match.
Cosmo with the slight tap on that. Baynock up the wall to pass it back over to center. Off of the backboard, leaving it up for a follow-up, but Heidi is going to be the one. Actually, he doesn't get the clear as Lyons rotates in there. Now Baynock's going to keep the play going with the over to Costbuster, stolen by Lobster, and it's back toward midfield.
Lobster has some pressure from Cosmo Buster on them. They'll play it off the ceiling. Baynock will elevate, dropping it into the left corner. It does look like High Tides gets a touch on it. Cosmo Buster trying to dunk it down off the ceiling. Gets it to Baynock. Baynock might be able to grab this corner boost and center it up for someone, but before they can, one of the Cal Poly players gets in that passing lane.
Oh, trying to get another save. Lobster is going to find it. Lions another follow-up, but the shot is wide and off to the side. Lions again with another follow-up, unless with a clear over to Lobster. And it's back in midfield as Boise State tries to regain their footing. Overall, though, Boise State is starting to open up a lead in terms of the side control they have and shots on goal.
Cosmo Buster, well, Baynock will lose their ball, dribble off the ceiling. It's off the back wall. Cosmo comes in, can't center it up, but High Tides gets in there first. Baynock looking to try and stop this ball at the midfield, elevates, goes over their head, but gets some help from Lyons, who's trying to get it off the wall and drag it down into the goal. Has an opportunity for a follow-up shot from a teammate, and unfortunately, no one's there just in time, and Baynock, well, Cosmo Buster goes in for the second touch, and it's not enough.
Oh, Lions with another shot off the crossbar. The Broncos really want to try to even this up, and it's basically been in their control all this time if it wasn't just for one errant kickoff goal. The Broncos, I would say, would have the advantage, but they're still fighting to try to tie it up as Cosmo, with a slight pop, is going to leave it to Baynock over in the corner. Back to Cosmo to center. Lyons is waiting, but Heidi has committed on the clear, so Cosbuster has to stop that. He's going to do a backwards flip, unless it's going to take it away from him. And over to Lobster. Side control goes over to Cal Poly.
Cosmo trying to grab it off the wall here, has an opportunity to send it to Baynock. Baynock will elevate, dunking it down over Lobster, but pushes it too far forward. Now, Useless will elevate, loses the ball on the ceiling, dunks it to Lobster. They somehow recover from that. It gets spiked off the ceiling by Cosmo. Useless will elevate again, as will Lobster, playing off the backboard. Lyons comes in to try to corral it here in the corner against Lobster, but all of Boise State's now rotating it again.
Cosmo with the slot is going to pass it to Lyons, but it's taken away by Unless. I love the way that Cal Poly is kind of reading Boise State's shots. They have been taking it away from them so much, and again, two of them double commit, leaving it all up to Lobster, who of course saves it himself. The defense ironclad for Cal Poly right now, despite everything Boise State is throwing at them.
You mentioned it earlier that Boise State's better.
There it is.
Nicely done, Cosmo. Thank you for alleviating the one-goal deficit. We still have a little less than 2 minutes on the clock, but you mentioned Cal Poly has a pretty solid defense here. They've gotten one goal. Boise State's gotten one goal, but the shots on goal are heavily in favor of Boise State. So they need to start getting rid of that goalkeeper or just completely throwing the ball in front of everybody else like Baynock just did.
Looking to punish that overcommit from Cal Poly. It's only a matter of time stats-wise for things to even up for Boise State. They're in control of the side if they have most of the side control, then eventually those shots on goal are going to pay off for them. Cosmo with the save there. He's going to be playing up the wall over Lobster. Unless has to take control of it. Is going to be fighting with Lyons. It goes back towards center field. Costbuster looking to play up the center. Heidi with the pass over to the side, but it's taken back away by Lyons, who passes back over to Costbuster. Over to Baynock in the center. Lobster disrupts them, and Heidi looking for the clear is going to be helped by Unless, but Lyons winning that 50-50 is going to keep the side control going for the Broncos.
Lobster pops it up for Useless, who plays it off the wall to center it back up to Lobster. Off the back wall, though, there might not be a fast enough touch. Never mind, there is from High Tides. And Boise State can't rotate in the goal fast enough. Now we're tied 2 aside with 1 minute and 2 seconds left on that clock.
Yeah, I was thinking that was a dangerous situation the whole time it was. And it was just Lyons was the only one near the goal, and he was on front instead of back post, so no one left to defend it. Cosmo now looking to get a clear, playing it over into the corner. Goes deflects way back toward Boise State. They have to play defense again all of a sudden. Lyons runs right into unless. Baynock, Cosmo has to defend here, and just with a light tap is able to push it back over to the corner. Lyons now trying to make a play, but he has no boost and can't do anything with the soccer ball right now.
Have High Tide dropping the ball at the midfield. Lyons will elevate, plays it around Lobster. Can they play it around High Tides? Cosmo will get in there and help out. They can. Useless collides with Cosmo, though. The ball is spiked high onto the wall. With a little bit of help of Baynock, it's managed to play it into the corner here on the side of Cal Poly. Boise State needs to regain control. 11 seconds, 10 seconds on the clock to score a goal. Lyons saves one at the last second from Cal Poly's shot on goal.
Yeah, that would have been a win for Cal Poly, so Lyons clutch save for him, at least pushing it to overtime. And if this is the first game that we have to see tonight, I have a feeling that the Broncos are going to have a lot of competitive matches.
Definitely. This could also be anxiety and breakdown of rotations time for either team, so it's important that they stay on the top of their game here. We've got Lobster elevating, trying to drop the ball down in front of the goal. Cosmo reads it well, redirects it to the side. Useless was waiting there, though. Ball now back on the side of Cal Poly. Lyons dunks the ball down from the ceiling into the goal 19 seconds into overtime.
That is a picture-perfect demo in the goal there to open things up. Broncos executed that perfectly and are going to be starting off right against Cal Poly. It's a best-of-5, so they still got a ways to go, but overall, things looking pretty good.
Yeah, Cal Poly, though, we've got a really solid defense, so I'm hoping Boise State doesn't let an early goal through again this time, so we don't experience as much anxiety as we did during that last match.
Right. Cal Poly having the ability also to be able to really get a few of these sneaky goals past the Broncos to open it up. But I would say for most of the time it felt like the Broncos were pretty much in favor in terms of side control for the first 3 minutes. But then in the last minute, that's what made it so interesting with Cal Poly. And it seems like 2 of the goals actually were from 1 goal from each team from back in midfield. So it's like both teams are punishing if the other team overcommits.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to come down to making sure those rotations are clean, rotating to the back post quickly, and also making sure you're communicating about who needs to be staying back and not overcommitting. Even if you think it's going in, triple committing is never a good idea.
No, it is never a good idea. That's Nerdy's key to the game right now. Don't triple commit.
Please don't.
Well, we're ready to get into game 2 of this best-of-5, Boise State versus Cal Poly. Boise State is off to a good start, but Cal Poly has shown themselves to be a pretty formidable team that can catch the Broncos off guard. So will the Broncos fall to that? We'll just have to see right now. As we start things off, looks like Cal Poly actually has the initial side control over. And just technical difficulties that come with any tournament that happens, but we'll get those all sorted out and back. But it looked like Cal Poly, just based on the skins that I could see and the territory that they had it in, Cal Poly had already taken control of the ball off of the kickoff. And this is exactly kind of what we were talking about, and this is one of their main threats. They can be very explosive in the first few seconds of the game. And see, unless he already got a shot on goal. So that's kind of Cal Poly's playbook.
Boise State needs to be careful. After the first match, I've seen plenty of teams, including here in the CRL League, change up playstyle dramatically based off of what they went into round 1. So Cal Poly could be playing a completely different card this time around. Let's hope Boise State's prepared for that. Lyons gets the ball off the back wall. Lobster pops it up, gets it off the high ceiling, off the backboard, but Baynock will get in there. Crossing the midfield now on the back third of the side of Cal Poly.
Elevation up. Both players miss that 50-50. Cosmo to pick up the pieces, leaving it to Baynock, who also whiffs on the shot. That leaves it wide open for Cal Poly. Lyons has to defend in Boise State's own corner. Shot is played right over him by Lobster.
It did look like we had one of our Boise State players in there, but since they drove in so fast, they were in the back corner of the net. A little difficult to block. Baynock tries to dunk it down, but Lobster was waiting on the ground for it. Has very little pressure on them, bringing it off the ceiling. Nice air control, but Lions will grab it anyway. Useless playing it off the wall. Cosmo Buster gets in there, tries to steal it away. Little help from Baynock. It's on the side. Lobster still with a lot of possession here. Boise State trying to get pressure on Lobster, finally stealing the ball away.
Heidi leaving it, another shot toward the goal. Lions with the save. 2 saves thus far. Cosmo Buster shot is going to ground it back in midfield. A bunch of demos being traded by the teams, and the ball just kind of trickles right back over toward Boise State's goal. Lions trying to corral it, is going to get demoed. That could open things up for Cal Poly here. Boise State struggling right now to find a clear and having a lot of their plays disrupted by Cal Poly.
Lobster with possession here on the side. Lions is returning. That demolition favor takes out one. Ball is dunked away from Lobster in mid-flight, but one of the Boise State players is here in the corner in the back third of Boise State. Useless trying to put pressure on Lions. Lions plays it around 2 there by themselves. Has Lobster in front of them here in the corner. Plays it off the back wall. Looks like Useless will beat any of the Boise State players there, though.
Little tap from Baynock, looking to clear it, but gets stopped by Heidi midfield. Over to Useless, who is anything but a shot on goal, laser focus. Lions is going to be credited with another save there. It's been very clutch for the Broncos, but right now, Cal Poly seems to be in control of everything. Broncos hardly having that many opportunities to get shots on goal.
Repeat of the last game where Boise State was down by 1 and that first goal being scored so quickly from Cal Poly. Unfortunately, we did miss it the last 2 times. I want to see how they're doing it to get it past Boise State so quickly, but something needs to change here for Boise State, at least in those first 30 seconds.
I mean, sometimes it's the way that you can just do that dash off the kickoff. You're just better at the mechanics. You get to the ball first, tap it, and you have control. And we hear another demo behind us. No doubt that was brought on to one of the Broncos. Looks like Lions, or maybe Cosbuster rotating up. Either way, the demos have been really fierce this game all of a sudden after a really sanguine game 1.
And they're being used to an advantage. Cal Poly is either using it to make space on the field to get it clear, or they're using it to maintain control on one side, but it doesn't matter. Cosmo Buster comes in for their first goal of game 2. Tied 1 aside now. About the same as last time. Minute and 12 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, but I think the Broncos should count their blessings on that one, because it looked to me like Lobster was just trying to clear it, and the angle just worked out to an unfortunate own goal there. So, I mean, the Broncos will take it, but they... To my view, there's still some things they definitely need to change around this game. Cosbuster's going to try to change it, leaving it for Lions, who passes it back in midfield. He's going to use a double tap there to contest with Lobster. Back a pass useless, and Boise State is actually hanging back on the field, it looks like, being a bit more passive than I would expect them to. They don't want to leave an open goal for themselves.
Lions pinches it off the back wall to themselves, passes it to Baynock. Baynock spikes it up, but Lobster gets in there off the back wall. We have Baynock trying to corral it, brings it to Cosmo Buster. Useless is putting a lot of pressure on Cosmo. Cosmo gets taken out, and now the ball on the back third already gets turned away by High Tides. Lions back to the goal, pops it high on the corner of Boise State's side of the field.
Lions elevating up for the shot, misses. Baynock demoed by Lobster, who, that was, I've seen a lot of acrobatics, but that was quite slamming on the brake and then turning around. Lobster showing that even though he's driving a huge van, he can still maneuver it like a sports car.
There's been a lot of gasoline spilled on this field thus far, and only 1 goal per team. Let's see if Boise State will get the golden goal or Cal Poly. Already past where we were last time in overtime territory. Now Cosmo Buster has possession, plays it up. Baynock rotating back. Useless sends it across the midfield, but Lions will elevate with the ball. Lobster collides with them. Cosmo takes out one in front of the goal, but the ball just dunked down right on top of Useless, who sends it to Lobster.
Cosmo with the tap in the corner again, playing with the wall. Pass useless. That's going to make room for Baynock now to take the reins. He steals the corner boost away from Cal Poly, but by not contesting the ball, that leaves it for Heidi to push it back toward Boise State's goal. Baynock there, not able to get the clear. Here goes Lions elevating up, but there's no one else over there. Broncos still trying to fight a lot in their own territory. And a double commit there. It seems they're fumbling at the worst time.
They've crossed over that minute-long territory, and with disruption coming out from Cal Poly, they'll throw the Boise State players out from in front of the goal.
This is what I have to ask as a question. Boise State had one opportunity where they finally got side control. But that one opportunity would probably turn into a lot more opportunities if they had followed the advice of the Idaho Army National Guard, and that's to join the best team out there. With more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. Anyway, once they got that side control going, Baynock had a choice. He could either go down on the ground to try to steal Cal Poly's boost away for them, or he could actually contest the ball up in midfield. He went for the boost on the ground, and Heidi elevated it up and had no problem clearing it back over to Boise State's territory, and that side control a few 10 to 20 seconds later got them the winning goal.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, that kind of split decision moment when you're in overtime can be very, very stressful. And you got to go with your gut, I feel like, especially with a fast-paced game like Rocket League. But if you're going to be the one intended to contest someone and you choose not to do it, I think you need to make sure you're telling your teammates. Right,
that's the thing. That might have been a play where he was thinking, I'm going to go for the boost. I have a teammate behind me who is going to back me up in that contest. But now then he had the boost. He had a full tank of boost, but he was left all alone in midfield, rotated way up past the ball. And so, yeah, it's just those decisions. Do I go for the boost? Do I go for the contest? It really is one of those things that I think the Broncos are going to have to make some of those snap judgment decisions better, because the way Cal Poly's playing, it hasn't been a game that's been decided by more than one goal.
Unfortunately, that's just how it shakes out sometimes. I'm pretty sure, 90% positive that our Boise State players don't have ESP, so you need to be communicating the decisions you're making to each other. And if you do have ESP, you probably shouldn't be at college.
Rocket League is not your biggest concern right now.
Yes.
Oh, there's another demo. Looks like from the Broncos this time. It's going to turn into a goal for the Broncos instantly, using Cal Poly's own strengths against them.
Took a little bit longer than what Cal Poly did, so they're probably like, our record's still better. We get it under 10 seconds. But with how this game has been playing out so far, that one-goal lead can be so much when these have been just a marginal difference between the two teams, and possibly prevent an overtime this time if Boise State can find a goal number 2.
Back over to Lions. Lobster's going to stop that.
Oof.
Baynock also seems to Boise State, you know, they're a team that loves their mid-air passes, really good at communicating with each other. The teams that do well against them are the ones who can read their passes and intercept them before they go through, and that seems like something that Cal Poly is constantly doing.
Putting yourself between someone and the ball is definitely one of the biggest strengths you can one of the biggest things you can offer in a game of Rocket League, and Cal Poly has been doing that quite well. However, the ball is still on the back third of Cal Poly, and Lobster trying to back up has Lions swoop in and slam the ball into the back of the net.
Well, this is the biggest lead that we've seen so far, and amassed very quickly for the Broncos, now up to 2-0. Maybe that last game was just kind of the kick in the pants that they needed to try to, you know, really make things start working. Cosmo with another shot back toward the goal. Just a little bit wide there, is not going to find it.
Baynock dunks it down to Lions, who's playing it into the corner. Lobster will beat them to the ball, though. Cosmo Buster waiting on the ground, spikes it up off the ceiling, has a centering opportunity, sends it to Baynock, but it gets to High Tides first, who's going to center it off the wall. Lions tries to go in, it's popped up, Useless Aqua dunks it down in the corner. Cosmo Buster putting pressure on the Useless Aqua, but there's 2 of the Cal Poly players, now all of them in front of the net, as opposed to Boise State, and that's never what you want to see. Yes, it's an overcommit, but when all 3 of your members are there and the clear does not happen, it can work out in your favor.
All 3 members are there. You don't have someone on back post. That equation is not going to turn out in your favor in any scenario. Baynock's going to try to even it up again or get Boise State back to their 2-goal lead that they had. Still in the lead by 1. Cal Poly, very explosive team, can change things around at any moment. Right now, Boise State is enjoying a bit of side control as Baynock passes to Lions.
Perfect!
Isn't it just great when you see a play actually work out perfectly as intended?
I want to see more of that. There was no Cal Poly player putting any pressure on Lions. I don't even know where the other 2 were.
Cosmo doing a bit of a A lot of a twisty flip in air, but it hasn't really turned into a goal quite yet. Useless going to answer that back, and Lobster, Boise State has to be careful about him. He's not able to get the tap on it, so Useless keeping the play alive, though, for Cal Poly. Look out for Heidi, and Cosmo reads it, getting a crucial save.
Lions has 2 on them in the corner. Cosmo Buster comes in to help them out. All 3 members of Boise State bunched up a little bit here. They need to start spreading out to find a clear opportunity. Baynock plays it around Lobster to Cosmo Buster. Cosmo plays it off the wall, trying to set it up for a teammate. High Tides comes in, but it looks like Baynock beat them to that ball, dragging it down on the other side of the field.
Lions with a pass back to midfield. Going to get intercepted by Heidi. Useless looking to pass it back across the field, but there's no one there to take it, and so Baynock is going to clean it up, put it right in front of the goal, but Useless with some nice acrobatics is going to try to score a goal there, but it doesn't look like it really went to fruition there, as Lions is going to get disrupted by Heidi again.
I saw an open goal, thank goodness. Cosmo started rotating back. Baynock and Cosmo in the corner now. Baynock plays it around Lobster, has a lot of physical pressure being put on them from Lobster. Ball still in the back third here on Boise State side of the field. High Tides tries to come in and get a shot on goal. At the last second, it's cleared out by Baynock from Lobster's shot, and unfortunately, Baynock will be taken out in the process.
I mean, I'm glad that it was a save, but don't do that again. That was just any second that you leave that goal open is just inviting Cal Poly to score one. Buster now with less than a minute. Boise State now looking with a pretty solid 2-goal lead, but would love that final insurance goal. They're going to get demoed, though, so Baynock looks like he was the one who was demoed off. The respawn is going to be able to pass it back over to midfield. Now moves up the field. Now moves up over to Useless, who wins that 50-50 between the two. The Lions with the shot. It's wide, and maybe they're just trying to run out the timer or get some side control.
Boise State's had a lot of possession. Finally, the ball gets stolen away for a few moments by Lobster. Spiked into the corner. Useless Aqua was waiting there now. High Tides passing it to Aqua. Shot on goal. Finds the net. Cal Poly at 2. Boise State still up by 1. 14 seconds left on the clock. This can go, honestly, either way.
Yeah, Boise State has to be very careful what Cal Poly does in a demo in midfield. Lions waiting on the back post, going to get pushed back into the goal by Cal Poly. That disruption was crucial for them. They evened it up.
This is not good for my heart rate, Boise State. Please, please find one more goal. Don't take us into an overtime again. 3 games in a row, but I think it's going to happen.
I think it is, unless they can keep it in the air here with a buzzer beater. Although the buzzer's already sounded, though, so they're not going to be able to find it.
All right. Let's see if Boise State can take this one away quickly, or if Cal Poly finds the goal here in overtime. Baynock sends it to Cosmo Buster in front of the goal. Lions comes in, but it's just a little bit too far to the left. And now Useless Aqua with pressure from Baynock will lose out possession at the midfield. Ball in the back third of Cal Poly. Lobster goes to the clear. Lions disrupts that. Cosmo Buster shot to Baynock off the back wall. Cosmo spikes it up, and the angle's just not right. Now they got to rotate back quickly. High Tides was already closer to the goal than any of the Boise State players. Ball is right in front of BSU goal. Lobster shot does get turned away.
Useless shot toward goal. Oh, just a little wide, but from the camera angle, it looked like that would have been perfectly aimed. Boise State on the back foot. Cosmo picking up the corner boost. There you go. There's the clear that they were looking for. It's going to waterfall down toward the goal. Cosmo tries to squeeze it in, but unable to. It's the second attempt from the Broncos. Baynock is going to get it in overtime. Boise State now leads in the series 2-1.
Cosmo Buster's shot, in his defense, 2 Cal Poly players elevated and body blocked it, but it was pretty good.
Well, Boise State is always looking for new talent in our varsity games, such as Rocket League. We're also looking for production roles as well. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can improve your chances of being selected. So go to boisestate.edu/esports for more information of how you can join the Broncos. We're kind of cruising very closely towards summer break, already toward March, and then there's April, and then we have a summer break. A whole new roster of players is joined in, so it's amazing how fast time flies, but always new talent to enjoy.
It definitely feels like, I don't know, undergrad and masters when by in the blink of an eye, and then it's already coming to spring break. So make sure you enjoy it while you have the opportunity to enjoy it.
Yep.
Take it from an old person.
Yeah, upper 20s, you know, those sneak up on you.
I've crossed the threshold. There's no going back.
The quarter-life crisis.
Yes, it happened. Thus the hair, okay?
Well, I'm not going to comment too much about personal matters right now. Right now, the pressing matter is Boise State's Rocket League game, in which they lead 2-1 against Cal Poly. But Cal Poly has shown that they have driven it to overtime in all 3 of these matches, as Nerdy said earlier. So Boise State is really being pressured to perform well in overtime.
I mean, that last game went very well for Boise State. The highest scoring game we've seen thus far against Cal Poly. I don't know exactly what they changed other than I feel like there was a lot less double commits, except for the one time where there was all of the Cal Poly members in front of the goal as opposed to Boise State players. That happens, but something changed. I hope they can make another change in this next one because Cal Poly started to figure it out and started bringing it back, hence the overtime we went into.
Yeah, just that 2-goal lead the Broncos had evaporated quite quickly in less than 20 seconds, and already there's going to be a goal. Looks like Lions is going to be the one beating out Cal Poly at their own record, scoring a goal to start the 4th game off right. Look out for the Broncos. Cal Poly wants revenge.
Oh, no.
They are really fierce off of that second kickoff.
We have a slight double commit on Lobster there from Lions, and Baynock, useless Aqua plays it over towards the goal off the back wall. Cosmobuster grabs it. Lobster putting pressure on them. High Tides comes in, shot on goal. Lions can't turn it away. Well, turn it away, and unfortunately, just like that, 24 seconds into the game, we're already tied 1 aside.
They are chippy. They definitely want to win this. They're going to have to win both games here if Cal Poly wants to advance. And Boise State again defending.
No.
Heidi with another goal in less than 15 seconds. Everything has turned around. Another kickoff. Baynock getting the better of this one. Quickly demoing Heidi. Both of these teams, I'm so surprised with how forceful and quick they're playing because they are out for blood.
I mean, you want field control. One way to guarantee it is kick everyone else off the field, I guess. We get a slight clear there from one of the Boise State players, but useless Aqua dragging it into the corner, spikes it up to Lobster. Double commit from Boise State there will allow them to get possession. Cosmobuster trying to play it on useless Aqua, dunks the ball down on the ground, and Lions finally finds that clear.
Lions to play up the field tentatively. Tried to redirect from Cosmobuster. Follow up by Baynock. Brings the Broncos back to 2 apiece.
Right.
Now only 1 minute has passed, actually, so we still have about 4 minutes left in this fight, and already we're tied 2-2.
I don't know what these teams decided to do because this is drastically different than we saw in the first few matches between.
I mean, maybe they all have the energy drink that you were having.
Maybe they all grabbed some G Fuel between the rounds and chugged it, but if you chug this, I am very concerned for your heart rate.
It looks like they did, though, with how fast they're playing. Cosmobuster gets another goal there.
That was perfect. Man, I wish we had replays.
It would be nice, but the gameplay is way too fast. I think that if we went to a replay, we'd probably miss 1 or 2 goals. So
probably at this rate, these guys are just trying to show us everything they got and put as many goals on the board as possible. High Tides here in the corner, leaves it for Lobster, taking control of that tempo, gets them a shot on goal, but it does not follow through. Lions now passing it to Cosmobuster. It is spiked back to the back third of Boise State side of the field, where Useless has to play it around 2, but cannot, and it is cleared back to the midfield.
Cosmo up the side, over to Baynock, leaving it, and there's another elevation up from Lions, but some disruption from Cal Poly is at least going to keep it in the corners. Safer location. Here goes Baynock, though, with a double tap, the twisty flip, unable to get the goal, but looking good on that aerial play.
We have High Tides trying to set her up for Lobster, but there's enough pressure being put on from Boise State that they find the clear just barely. Cosmobuster will spike it up. It's going to be in the back third where High Tides corrals it. They knock it in the midfield, centers it up for Lions, who unfortunately overdrives it. Follow-up touch from Cosmo gets spiked high by Lobster. High Tides looking for the clear here. Cosmo still kind of cherry-picking here on the back third to Cal Poly. The clear does come out. High Tides shot on goal off the backboard. Baynock grabs it before any of the Cal Poly players can get a secondary touch on it.
Back to Lions. Cosmo leaves it for Baynock, elevates up, but only able to push it toward the corner. Cal Poly is matching Boise State in mid-air quite well right now. It's Lions, it's just gonna trickle in, and Boise State leads 2 goals.
That was insanely lucky for Boise State. It looked pretty cool though, in all honesty.
It did look really cool. But what would be better for Boise State is it seems 2 goals is the threshold that Cal Poly is able to even up in quite a quick fashion. So a 3-goal lead here would probably give the Broncos the win. But I only say probably because you can't count Cal Poly out. Baynock's going to try to go for it right now. It's going to get answered back by Cal Poly. A double commit in the air actually from them to get that clear. But at least Boise State is now going to try to get a clear of their own.
Uses Aqua, has the ball stolen away by Cosmo Buster. They slowed down and took too many touches at the midfield. High Tides tries to get a clear. Lions waiting at the mid. Plays it into the corner. Uses Aqua. Does find the clear. Baynock racing back to corral possession of this ball away from Aqua. They managed to play it around Aqua, but can't play it around High Tides. Lions now elevating, drive it across the midfield. It's in the corner where Lobster on the back third of Cal Poly side of the field gets a touch on it, but Cosmo shot on goal does get turned away.
Baynock right in the face of Lobster. Push it over to the corner. Now Cosmo Buster waiting for his play. Lobster steals it away from him. Lions hanging out in the goal. Off the post!
Oh, no.
That was way too close for comfort for the Broncos, but now there's only 30 seconds left and they still lead by 2. This is looking hopeful.
Ball is still on the back third to Cal Poly side of the field. Uses Aqua, tries to find the clear. Cosmo elevating, tries to stop that clear from happening, but Lobster almost has a shot in on goal. Just can't find the angle just right. Baynock plays it in front of the Boise State goal. Risky situation to be in when your teammates aren't there playing defender or goalkeeper.
Lobster was meeting the Broncos in their own goal and pushing them back. That took one of the Broncos out of the ability to save, but overall it's not going to make a difference. The Broncos maintaining their 2-goal lead and winning this first round in the 3rd CRL Rocket League qualifier. One of the sponsors of Boise State is Drop In Gaming, of course. You can play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop In Gaming has the games and competition for you. Now Boise State looking to start off today right, but man, if this first round was any indication, they're going to have a rocky road ahead.
I really hope that was taken as kind of like we scrimmed, or we played kind of, we warmed up, but that was our genuine warm-up. Obviously, more goals were put on the board by both teams in that match than we'd seen earlier in that series. So let's hope that they just improve from here. We don't see any more overtimes.
Hopefully, we're going to take a break and be back with the second match of the night, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Boise State fighting the CRL Rocket League qualifiers. We'll be back with more after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to our coverage of the CRL Rocket League qualifiers. Boise State getting their first win against Cal Poly. Now they're going to go up against Minnesota in what I'm told is a qualifier for the best of 8. So after this, if the Broncos win, we will go to the bracketed stage. The Broncos, though, still need to do very well overall to get the top score in the qualifier, so we'll see if they can continue. I'm your host, Jacob Jim Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Rain. And now we go on to Minnesota. It's going to be hard to judge this team, but based on the first game right now, it seems Boise State has really tough competition.
I mean, you always want tough competition going into these. It's not really that fun if it's an easy win for you. But, I mean, it gets you to the title faster. However, you want to feel like you deserve it, right?
Yeah, that is true. Of course it is. Of course, for two players, I don't want to get too much into mind reading here, but if you're a player looking at your last semester, I also wouldn't be complaining just to get to the grand finals.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, that'd be, kind of like the chef's kiss of a finish in your last
Right.
season on a collegiate team, which I think we might be in Cosmo Buster's final semester here.
Right.
And so if it were an easy ride there, I'm sure that'd be great. But on the same notion, I feel like Cosmo would like the challenge.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure Minnesota's going to come in here and come swinging just like Cal Poly. Hopefully we don't see them scoring again in the first 10 seconds 2 matches in a row.
Well, yeah, hopefully that was the main thing that Cal Poly, Boise State is going to have to be on the lookout for those early kickoff goals. Right now, though, this is the matchup that we have. Boise State versus Minnesota, ready to head into the second round of the night, the one before the top 8. So Boise State fighting for that bracketed position. Once again, Boise State versus Minnesota in CRL Rocket League Carball qualifiers, the third of the semester, best of 5, and we're ready to head down to the first game right now. Let's see what Minnesota has to offer.
No pressure, of course, on anybody. You just got to do the best you possibly can. We got Baynock here passing it to Lions. Lion shot goes wide. They take out the keeper in the process. 2 more seconds and they'll respawn, and they have come back up. It was Ches who got taken out, and it does look like it got a clear coming out from Mom going into the corner. They've got very little pressure, but a double commit from Minnesota might open up an opportunity for Boise State to find a clear.
Baynock's going to try to find that clear, runs right into Ches, though. And Lyons is going to have to hang back in the goal and take control of it himself. Now looking for a clear. He's going to get demoed by Mom, though. And the demos have been quite forceful from both Cal Poly and now Minnesota. Boise State is going to have to rethink their strategy as they are constantly getting disrupted.
Mom has a lot of pressure on them here in the corner. Baynock looking to rotate back. Ches has their shot turned away by Baynock, who read it perfectly. Lions elevating at the midfield, trying to play it to Baynock, who's waiting on the back wall. It gets dunked down. Cosmo Buster elevates with it, trying to find another opportunity to center it up. Lions gets in there, but a double commit from Minnesota will turn that shot away very quickly.
Baynock's just going to let it waterfall down. Cosmo unable to stop it in midfield, so it has to go over to Lions. It's now left in front of the goal. Cosmo with the shot is intercepted by Ches quite easily, but the Broncos have kind of whittled down all the boost that Minnesota has here, so they would love a goal, a clear right now, but the Broncos are going to deny it to them. With what little Minnesota has, they are still putting up a great defense, but it's not going to be enough as Cosmobuster gets the first goal.
Almost took 2 minutes for Boise State to find that first goal. So Minnesota's doing something right. They had quite a bit of ball and side control there for a while. Finally, it was broken down. It seems like Mom's quite the powerhouse playmaker here for Minnesota, and I think Boise State started to figure that out.
Shot toward goal. Baynock just going to push it over to the corner. Pick up their own boost. Boise State doesn't want to be left flat-footed. I think that might be one of the dangers Minnesota has to watch out for, is how well Boise State can boost starve them, since it wasn't until Boise State whittled down all of Minnesota's boosts that they could get a goal.
Ball in the corner on the back there to Boise State side of the field. Mom's shot just a little bit too flat to the goal to find the back of the net. It does get cleared. On the other side of the field, Baynock with possession, dragging it down in front of the goal. Bismo gets in there, stealing it away for a few moments. Lions takes it back to Boise State. Cosmo tries to get a touch on it. Unfortunately, overdrives an awkward collision between Boise State players will result in them losing possession. Ches now bringing it up the field, pops it up over one, pops it up over two. Mom comes in, but Lions finds the clear for Boise State.
And it looked like it would have been pretty open for Cosmo there to try to get the goal, so it might have just been a miscommunication by him and Lions, because they just whammed right into each other and lost any opportunity they had there to get a shot on goal, and now they're paying for it and trying to clear it out of their own territory. Cosmo's going to pass to Baynock. Ches trying to intercept. Doesn't have any boost and just falls to the ground, so Lions takes it away from him. And now to center it, it heads off to the other corner. We'll see what Baynock can do.
Moms jumps over Baynock, pops it up. Cosmobuster elevates, dunking it down to Lions, who pops it high for Baynock again. Baynock off the wall, centering it up for Cosmo. Cosmo sending it to the back third of Minnesota side of the field. Lions gets in to steal the ball away from Ches. Baynock, after the centering pass, passes it back to Cosmobuster, who now has Mom taking the ball away into the corner.
Lions is not going to allow any opportunity from Minnesota to try to score a goal there. We're now down to a little over a minute. Ches with a deflect there is just going to still leave it in their own territory. Shot by Cosmo this time goes through, and now it is 2-0 Broncos.
I was about to say, after you said we're getting down to that minute mark, that Boise State's not out of the hot water yet because they were not in a position that wasn't easy to overtake with one goal. However, now they have the security goal so long as they can play keep away and not let Minnesota find one for the next 57 seconds.
Now the water's merely lukewarm. And ice cold now. Someone dumped an ice bucket in the hot water Boise State was in, because now they lead 3-0. And I would say Broncos can probably adopt a more passive attitude and just maintain side control for now and let the timer run out.
You mentioned it earlier. It's the boost starving that Boise State is doing that's allowed them a lot of ball control and side control here. Definitely looking at the boost ratios for the teams here. Minnesota is hungry for some boost, and Boise State is not giving up a single spoonful of it to them, allowing them to just constantly be all over the place as opposed to Minnesota.
Baynock with the pass to Cosbuster. Just what the Broncos want right now. Just keep it away. Lions ready to stop any sort of clear, since they're going to take it himself. As Baynock rotates back in midfield, ready to make the next play. It's just going to demo one of Minnesota. That's another way to stop him. Off the backboard, fourth goal. Broncos, just a little bit of icing on the cake.
That was absolutely beautiful. 6 seconds left on the clock. 4 goals. I really think that that's impossible for Minnesota to possibly find that one, even if Boise State lets a couple by. We are at 0 left on the clock. Ball hits the ground and the round is over. Boise State might try to keep it up in the air, though, just to be a little flashy. It looks like Baynock is going to do just that, and finally, Bismo drops it down onto the ground.
Yeah, you don't want to play with your food too much, you know. It's just, it's bad juju, if you will.
I agree. It's kind of disrespectful sometimes.
Well, Boise State is always looking for new players to join the ranks. Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League, Valorant, all sorts of stuff you can sign up for, as well as production. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can increase your chances as well. To join the Bronco team, go to boisestate.edu/esports for more information. So now this is quite interesting. It's quite a different game than what we saw the first time against Cal Poly, but Boise State seems to be doing a great job. And if the theme last game was just watch the kickoff, the theme this game is watch your resources, because Boise State is managing them a lot better.
Yeah, and when you take away the ability for one team to move as fast as you do, it makes it very difficult for them to do anything. Honestly, I don't know how Minnesota can overcome it other than, spread out a bit more and get to the boost pads faster.
Right.
But that's difficult when you got a team that's as well put together as the Broncos are.
Yep, it doesn't look like the Broncos are going to stop for anything, so they're just ready to run into this second game right away. Boise State versus Minnesota CRL Rocket League qualifiers. It's round 3, and Boise State already won round 1. The other squad did, so this other team has been fighting furiously to make sure they make their way to the finals as well, and here we go.
Baynock shoots the ball into the back third of Minnesota's side of the field. Lions elevates with it. It hits the ceiling, so they'll lose their dribble. Mom in the corner loses it as well. Baynock's shot hits the backboard. Cosmo goes in for the secondary follow-up touch. There is a slight double commit in front of Minnesota's goal, but they find the clear eventually.
Ooh, Baynock is going to have it stolen away from him. Lucky for Boise State, they did have Cosmo Buster hanging back in the goal, so looks like they're not slipping up in terms of positioning. They are leaving someone back in the goal and not leaving it open for Minnesota. Cosmo's going to lose that 50-50, though. As soon as I say they're not leaving an open goal, they leave one, and Minnesota punishes them.
Two of the Minnesota players were definitely cherry-picking a bit there. Boise State just needs to recognize those moments and make sure that doesn't happen as easily for them. It is a very awkward position to be in, though, if a clear comes out from Boise State, so they can take advantage of it, but they can't let it happen so easily.
Baynock looking for the star play and finds it. It's equalized very quickly. 1 minute passed, tied 1-1.
Going into the kickoff, Lions gets the better of the touch off of it, but Ches ends up with it, dunking it down to Bismo on the ground. Bismo plays it around 1, but it goes into the corner where Lions is waiting, who sends it to Cosmo Buster. Mom gets in to disrupt a bit. Ball barely crawls into the goal line as one of the Boise State players tried to drop down to stop it, but couldn't get there fast enough.
Well, sometimes you just need one game to try to, get to know the other team, try to find out their play style and warm up yourselves, and seems like that might have been the case for Minnesota. Whatever was not with them in the first game has definitely come to a full force here, as the Broncos are looking to demo in the goal, and that leads to another equalizer.
So Minnesota, at least in this first minute and a half so far, hasn't been starved of resource nearly as much as they were last time, so they seem to have changed something to allow that to happen, or Boise State changed something to allow Minnesota to get more boost. Either way, we're at a pretty equally matched game here, tied to a side. This can definitely go either way. I'm not making any predictions right now.
Cosmo up the wall. It's going to be stolen away by Ches. Mom with a nice redeflect. Here he goes over to Lions right now, around the corner. Oh, stolen away in that 50-50, and another shot toward Boise State's goal. They want to find their clear. That clear can't come soon enough, because right now there's a lot of pressure from Minnesota.
We have Mom playing off the back wall to center it up for a teammate, but no one is there in time. Boise State at the midfield. Ches gets it off the wall. Lions tries to play it around 1. Now Bismo looking for the follow-up touch to find the goal. Can't find it. Ches centers it up for a teammate. Cosmo will elevate, sending it to the mid where Mom's waiting. Mom trying to get it in. It does get turned away by Lions at the last second.
Lions way back over toward midfield. Cosmo with another shot, and Mom with the save. He's going to push it back to midfield, but now Boise State looks to have the side control locked down. Cosmo's going to use another shot toward the goal. Bismo back toward the side.
Mom playing it off the wall to Bismo. Bismo now playing it off the backboard, but before they could do that, Lions grabs it first, passing it to Baynock. Mom with possession in the corner, gets taken out by Cosmo. That's an awkward thing to end up saying. Lions with possession here, plays around 1, bring it across the midfield, will get demoed, but Baynock has an opportunity to maintain possession here for Boise State.
Another demo in the goal. The Broncos definitely trying to set it up, wanting to take the lead for the first time in this game. But Ches isn't going to make it so easy, as Boise State now has to rotate all the way back toward their own goal and play defense again. And Mom with a quick shot on goal. Not going to find it, though.
Cosmo plays around Bismo. Mom, though, elevating, gets it down in front of Boise State's goal. It does hit that awkward pocket, gets sent back across the midfield. Ches comes in, stealing it away, dragging it down into Boise State's corner. Cosmo putting pressure on them. Bismo centering it up, hits the corner, and now it's at the midfield. Bismo trying to race to maintain possession, but Baynock gets there first.
Ches just a slight tap off to the corner. Boise State has to find a centering now. Cosmo, it ends up above the goal, off the backboard, off the post from Baynock. No goal for Boise State, but very close lines to try again. But they're both going to fly by at him and Bismo. Now Boise State has to rotate back. Cosbuster saving the side control. Deflect there by Lions. Not going to find a goal either.
Bismo playing off the wall to themselves. It gets spiked off the ceiling. Cosmo gets a touch on it, allowing Baynock to come in, bringing it to the corner. Lions now with possession. Pass back to Cosmo. Takes out one in the process. Baynock looking to maintain their presence as the defender. Gets the ball, bringing it across the midfield, but gets taken out in the process. Bismo now with possession. Plays it to Ches, but it's spiked up high by one of the Broncos.
Back over to the corner. Boise State unable to find their side control there, and it might just probably will most definitely go to an overtime unless the Broncos can keep it elevated right now and not ground it. That's not going to happen, so we head into overtime.
Off the kickoff, Cosmo wins it easily, but Bismo's putting pressure on them. They're looking to center it up for a teammate. They find Baynock, but Baynock's rotating back. Line comes in to spike it into the back third. Off the corner, off the back wall, and it looks like Baynock got a touch on it, but now Mom with possession will elevate with the ball, actually leave it for Bismo. Cosmo tries to get possession, but is thrown around by the Minnesota players.
Lions with a nice tap is going to leave it for Baynock. Mom comes rushing in, though. Looks like a demo is also brought out. Back onto Mom, actually, so off the respawn, Boise State is going to try to play for the goal, but Bismo saves it. Rebound by Cosmo Buster. Left for Lions. Knows he has to rotate back here for the goal to defend, and that pays off as Boise State is able to stop the goal there. Push it back to midfield.
We're tied to a side with 1 minute on the clock so far here in overtime. Cosmo Buster collides with Bismo. Mom with possession. Cosmo tries to dunk it around them, but Ches comes in to help them out. It's in the back third of Boise State side of the field. Lions plays it around one. Can they play it around another? They can. That's shot on goal. Backboard though. Follow-up touch. Tertiary touch from Cosmo.
There it is.
Minute and 18-second long overtime. Boise State walks away with the game to win.
Ooh, but a lot closer than it was in game one. A far cry from a 4-0 lead. Top plays of the game are brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. Okay, Boise State at match point. It certainly feels like it's been a little bit of a rocky road to that match point. But overall, what do you think was the biggest difference you saw in Minnesota? Because they pushed it into overtime tied 2-2 when they lost the first game 0-4. So something came alive from them there.
I feel like they started to facilitate Mom's ability to control the field a bit more and stopped allowing the resources to just be taken away from them constantly. So their positions and rotating were just slightly better than they were in the first game. And Boise State, I don't feel like was completely ready for that. However, in this next match, I feel like either Mom is going to be thrown around quite a bit, or they're going to spend a lot of time on the respawn screen because they started to get taken out quite a bit during the last half of that game because Boise State realized how much of a facilitator and playmaker they were.
So in other words, once they realized that Mom knows best, they were able to make some plays. So we will see if that is the case in game 3 as Boise State goes to game number 3 in this best of 5, looking to close it out at match point with a 3-0 and get to the top 8 number because this is the game right before that. So here we go. It'd be a great placement for the Broncos to get to the top 8. Baynock's going to look for the clear off the kickoff, going to play off the wall, try to leave it for Lions, who now moves in. I can see why Baynock left it for Lions. He needs to go pick up some boost as teams kind of scramble for boost, looking to make the initial play in the start of this game.
Mom centering up for Bismo, but Lions gets in that passing lane before Bismo can get a touch on it. Ches now plays it around Cosmo Buster. Baynock gets enough of a touch on it, but Mom's there for the follow-up, who elevates into the back corner on Boise State's side of the field. Lions tried to wait it out and figure out where that ball was going to land. Cosmo gets a slight clear on it, but it's still in the back third of Boise State's side.
A little bit of an elevate from Lions, just enough to keep the ball out of the goal. Follow-up, though, is going to be brutal, and Cosmo barely saving it. Going to keep it tied 0-0. Cosmo leaving it for Baynock. Yeah, it's not going to quite turn out. Leaves it for Mom to get the clear. It's stolen away by Lions.
Cosmo pops it up. It's at the midfield where Bismo drops it down off the ceiling. Baynock now with possession, has to play it around Mom. Mom gets a touch on it. Oh. That. The goalpost, the fourth player came in clutch right there for Boise State. Helped out Cosmo a bit. Cosmo will take out one in the goal. We got a couple seconds here for Boise State to find the back of the net. The respawn, unfortunately, has just come out. Baynock colliding with Ches in mid-flight. Lions getting it off the ceiling. Drops it down to Cosmo Buster, who spikes it up again. Though it looks like Bismo will be the first one to get a touch on it.
Ches with a little bit of a tap and going to turn real into a clear now. Mom tries to flip it, but Lions with the play. It's going to force Bismo push it back over to the corner. Baynock with another shot on goal. I like what we saw from Lions there, was in the goal disrupting Minnesota. So that was an opening for the Broncos, but still haven't been able to find the goal. There's another, and Ches defends and gets another save.
Lions comes in. Bismo steals the ball away from them. Cosmo Buster comes back, gets a shot on goal, but it does get turned away. Moms and Cosmo Buster colliding a little bit here in the corner. Bismo and Baynock will challenge for that ball, and Bismo walks away with the victory of that 50-50. Now ball gets cleared. Cosmo in mid-flight with the ball. Has an opportunity to dunk it down to a teammate, but it gets cleared by Ches before anyone else can touch it.
Mom trying to make a play, but so far for the Broncos, even though there's been no goals, the side control has been pretty much in their favor for the last minute and a half, it seems like. So overall, just if you're looking at shots on goal, one's bound to turn out for the Broncos. That's not going to be it, but they go to 6, now 7 shots on goal. Still no goals to show for.
Now they got to rotate back quickly, though. Ches does not have pressure on them just yet. Cosmo put in a little bit on Mom, though. No, Bismo pitching it into that corner, finds goal number 1 of this game. 3 here. Minnesota up by 1, 2 minutes, 4 seconds left on the clock.
That's got to burn. You put 7 shots on goal compared to Minnesota's 3, and yet Minnesota's in the lead, 1-0. That really shows the saves. I mean, Ches, look, 4 saves credited to Ches. He's been insane. There goes Bismo back over to the side. Lions leaving it. Ches is taking it away from them. And now looking to disrupt Boise State upfield. A lot of people bumping into Cosmobuster, but he still manages to make his play. Mom with a last-minute deflect is going to save Minnesota from being tied.
Lions sending it off the wall to center it up for Cosmo Buster. Gets a shot on goal off the back wall. Baynock spikes it down to Cosmo. Cosmo spikes it off the back wall again. Is there another touch? There might be from Lions. There is, but it's not the right angle. And the ball's still in the corner here. Baynock trying to keep possession alive, and another opportunity for shot on goal for Boise State to happen here. But they need to spread out a little bit, and unfortunately it looks like Minnesota might be able to find a clear.
Cosmo Buster a little bit to the side of the goal. It does get centered, but right now there's too many of Minnesota crowded around the ball to Broncos really to make a play at it. It's back to the similar story of Broncos having all this side control and all these shots on goal, but 5 saves from Ches, 4 from Bismo, and all Minnesota is doing is just waiting for the Broncos to overcommit, and then they get their goal.
Mom takes out Baynock there for a few moments. Boise State will be down a player. Cosmo and Lions trying to bring this ball up the field. Mom is waiting in the goal, though, so Cosmo can't play it around them. Ches finds the clear as well. Cosmo trying to swoop up, takes Ches out. Couple of seconds here for Boise State to center this ball up. They have the opportunity to get it clear, but the ball is still on their back third.
Not looking good for the Broncos. A very biting defeat as well, because overall it looks like things should have gone in favor of the Broncos. They had the side control, they had the shots on goal, but Montana just didn't let anything through with their defense and punished the Broncos severely. I mean, look at that. There are a total of 10 saves credited to Minnesota. I haven't seen a discrepancy that big in terms of saves. You don't let anything through, and then just with a couple shots on goal yourself, you make it a 2-0. Well, Drop-In Gaming is a premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. You can play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. So Minnesota, it's not going to make it easy on the Broncos. It looked like they were cruising to a victory, but in one of the most ironclad defenses I've ever seen, through every shot on goal Boise State threw at them, Montana did not let one through.
One thing that I definitely noticed, though, was that one of the strategies we've seen BSU use in the past is demoing that goalkeeper, and that did not seem to happen nearly enough, because had they taken out Ches, who was just a defensive brick wall, unmovable human being there, had they gone away just for a couple seconds, Boise State could have gotten one of those goals in.
Right, and I think there were a few opportunities where I did see, disruption, or at least pushing the defender back into the goal so they couldn't defend. The problem was that Boise State just didn't have the follow-up in those situations. It happened, and the one who had control of the ball, the angle didn't work out for them. They whiffed on the shot. It just those consistency issues, because everything needs to be brought together at the right moment for a demo to initiate a goal. And it just seems like the demo might have been there a few times, but it just seems the consistency and the accuracy wasn't. So overall for the Broncos, now having to go to a game 4, pick up the pieces and save their pride, because that's kind of the worst loss. That's just got to be very biting with how hard they fought for it.
Well, they have the opportunity here to shut this down. They're still at match point, but if Minnesota wins this one, we're going to be in a very, very stressful situation for both teams, because both will be at match point. I really hope Boise State can clean up their act a little bit and come away with the victory in this game 4. But, if we see game 5, I wouldn't be too upset.
Well, let's get into game 4. Boise State's still at match point, but Minnesota looking that they might have a reverse sweep on their mind. So we're just going to have to see if that indeed plays out, or if the Broncos can recover. They've really got to find a way to break through this defense for Minnesota, which has been so hard to find a crack in. Cosmo Buster pushes it over to the corner where Mom is waiting. Now it looks like Boise State is going to try again with a shot toward the goal. Lions trying to keep it center. Cosbuster with another shot. Now Baynock with the follow-up. That's not going to turn into anything.
Lions sees Cosmo, passes the ball to them, but they have pressure from Bismo. Baynock now with the shot off the back wall. Cosmo there for the follow-up. Lions looking like they're trying to find an opportunity to squeak in. Finally does, centers it up for Baynock, but Ches and Baynock will collide, and the ball gets sent right back into the corner.
Yeah, well, as long as Minnesota has one player who's still rotating to that back post, and especially a player as good as Ches in terms of saving it, then it might as well just be a wall in front of the goal for Minnesota, because Boise State struggling yet again to find a goal. As 1 minute has passed, we're still tied 0-0. Cosbuster with a risky back pass toward their own goal. It's I never really like seeing that. I mean, I know there's probably a strategy, but I've seen it punished way too many times.
I am on the exact same page as you, but Lions right now trying to capitalize on a slight breakdown in rotation there from Minnesota. Can't find the goal. Bismo with possession. Cosmo comes in to try and steal the ball away. All 3 members of Minnesota are bunched up quite a bit here. Boise State has the dominating control of the field, but cannot find an opportunity to find a goal. Takes out one of the keepers. I think it was Ches. A couple seconds here, but 2 of the Boise State players collide yet again. Ches now respawning, gets the pass to Mom, and the ball just rolls into the goal with very little
it's
pressure.
The same thing. Look at this. 4 shots on goal for the Broncos, only 1 for Minnesota, and yet it's the one that puts them in the lead. And I think you were talking about, you got to find a way to take that defensive player out, Ches. And the thing is that I think makes it so crucial for Ches and why he's so effective is when I'm looking, Ches is always on the back post. He's the one who can rotate back so well, like just right there, and push it away from the Broncos' relentless assault.
Still have over half this round left for Boise State to find another goal and another to get themselves in a better position, but Mom is not letting that happen easily. Cosmo Buster grabbing it off the wall / stealing area. finds a shot, but it gets turned away very fast. There was not enough follow-up from Boise State. Mom now in the corner with an opportunity. Little help from Bismo, and it helps from that fourth player,
here?
But it's not enough. The tertiary touch from Minnesota finds goal number 2 for them, and we are about to hit that halfway mark. Boise State sitting at a goose egg still. Minnesota up by 2.
I think also it's not just Minnesota's ability to defend so effectively, but Boise State, they're just not rotating back to their own goal fast enough. I mean, look at that. There's only one. He gets demoed. Minnesota goes right into the goal. Boise State just seems like they're focusing everything on getting side control and getting shots on goal. And there's something to be said for that, but if they're not able to convert to defense on a moment's notice and defend their own goal, then it's no wonder why Minnesota is almost making every single shot on goal they have.
Bismo goes down, but it's not enough. The ball's right in front of Boise State's side of the field. Lions gets the clear, but Mom is waiting there. Spikes it up, plays it around the Boise State players. Cosmo comes in, collides with Mom, but Bismo comes in to help Mom out. Baynock now trying to get in that defensive position, is pushed around a bit, as is Lions. Baynock now with possession has someone right behind them. And unfortunately, it does get taken away, but Lions centers it up for Baynock. Baynock spikes it up, but Bismo disrupts it. Lions trying to find a centering opportunity here. Don't know if they'll be able to find it. Cosmo rotates forward. The goal is wide open again. Boise State needs to find a clear here. This could be an easy goal. Again, it does finally get cleared by Baynock, who races down to try and capitalize on the overcommit from Minnesota. Unfortunately, cannot, though.
Lions trying to make a play. Mom with the slight tap is going to leave it toward Bismo. Ghostbusters stopping in midfield, but again, a shot is just, this is a disaster right now. I don't know. I've seen games go to a match point and teams fumble, but it seems like it seems like the Broncos are in free fall right now. I have not seen a team just get to this point and then just, figuratively and literally drop the ball this severely.
At this point, they've got less than, 15 seconds per goal now. It's a very difficult task to conquer, especially when the ball has been spending so much time in the Boise State back third. Ches is even pushed up at this point. There is a massive amount of overcommit happening from Minnesota that Boise State can capitalize on, but they're just allowing themselves to be bunched up in front of their own goal as opposed to spreading out, which is what they need to do to find good clears here. And right as the clear comes out, because the rotations are just not there, they lose out on the opportunity to do anything with it, and Minnesota finds goal number 5, 30 seconds on the clock. Unfortunately, it looks like both our teams are going to be at match point after this one, and we're going to go into a game 5, and both teams looking to find the victory lap for themselves. But Minnesota right now looks like they're just having an easy game.
I mean, for those who think that we cannot be critical toward our own home team, I mean, this is just ugly for the Broncos. Minnesota is outclassing them and outplaying them in every single way for these last 2 games. And now, just less than 10 seconds, there is no way the Broncos can even this out. They're just going to have to go for a full mental reset here and be driven to a game 5. What an appearance by Minnesota. The Broncos, I don't know what has happened. Well, Boise State Esports, always looking for new talented players to join Rocket League, Overwatch, and Valorant, as well as production. Boise State Esports is looking for the top students, top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can improve your chances as well. To see how you can join the Bronco family, go to boisestate.edu/esports. So I think the main thing that happened there is that the main thing that I'm taking away from that is just when Boise State is pressing up against Minnesota, Minnesota is not making defensive mistakes. Boise State is making defensive mistakes. And that is just kind of the main thing that I think is the difference between these two teams.
Honestly, the way that game 1 went is now what we're seeing in just reverse happening to Boise State, because it's not so much the boost starving, but it's being corralled into a tiny area is what's happening in Boise State. They're not being able to put pressure on Minnesota. Minnesota is putting so much on to Boise State that they are stuck basically in their goal box, and that's not where you want to be. You need to be spread out in order to find clears and capitalize on those clears, and Minnesota's shutting down all of those opportunities right now. So Boise State needs to do something different in this next game.
And the secret to a great team is being able to find out your other team's play style and adapt your strategy to that. And Minnesota has done that in flying colors right now. It's like we're seeing two completely different teams that have played from when this match started to when it's ending. And in this game 5, like you said, the Broncos got to pull something together, or else Minnesota is going to pull off a successful reverse sweep. We're going to find out what happens now as we head into game number 5.
I'm hoping this time we're going to see less touches from Boise State, more give and go here, because the longer they hold on to possession, the easier it is for Minnesota to put pressure on them and get into a better position for themselves. Right now, Mom has possession, and there's 2 Boise State players in the goal. That's something that I was talking about. You cannot be bunched up like that to capitalize on these clears. We do finally have them rotating forward, but it's not enough. Cosmo Buster finds one. Lion squeaks through to prevent the clear from happening. Bismo steals it away, spiking it off the ceiling. Cosmo will elevate, dropping it down to Baynock now. Lions is pushing forward slightly, but it looks like Boise State's starting to spread out just enough, but Mom takes out Lions as well.
An outside control in favor of Minnesota. Ches is going to stop that clear midfield. Baynock pushes it back over toward the corner. Listen, Boise State still looking like they're fumbling. They haven't gotten any shots on goal thus far. And a minute has passed with Minnesota. Another demo is going to go out there onto the Broncos, and Minnesota, Cosbuster last minute save there, but look at this. This is exactly the problem the Broncos are having. They're not being able to make their plays.
Ches trying to bring the ball into the goal, does get turned away, but if you look, we've got...
Look at this, it's the bunching.
Mom with no pressure on them, 2 Boise State players sitting in the goal. That cannot happen. That just allows the side control to be dominated by Minnesota because somebody has free reign of the field. That cannot be what's happening. Someone needs to make sure that those rotations are coming out in spades for Boise State. But Mom is just demoing anybody that's in their line of sight right now.
Cosmo around the corner. First opportunity from the Broncos, and Ches is going to clear it back to midfield. Lions has to rotate back here. Bismo with the pass over to Mom, stopped by Cosbuster, and a follow-up by Ches looked like it might have been toward the goal there. Another demo for Boise State. Cosbuster's going to respawn, and the Broncos are just having a real tough time in defense.
Mom sends the ball to the back wall on Boise State's side of the field. Cosmo putting pressure on them. Lions dunks the ball down, tries to get it to Baynock. There's a slight touch from Bismo, though, that results in a clear, but the return volley from Cosmo finds goal number 1. Broncos finally coming alive here. Hopefully they can maintain the rotations, and it's going to sound a little bit weird, but have a little bit more faith in one another to know that someone's always going to be in the back of the goal. Just call when you're going to go forward and make sure that there's someone ready. Trust one another.
Off the backboard, Cosbuster with the follow-up back toward Minnesota. There goes Baynock. He's going to pass it over to Lions. He's able to keep some side control for Boise State for once. Mom with just a little bit of a tap is going to be enough for Boise State to leave an open goal. And it's tied up again.
Dang it. Okay, we're basically tied 0-side, just crossing the halfway mark of game number 5 right now. It's still anybody's side, well, anybody's game. Boise State's looking a lot stronger this time around as opposed to the last 2 games that we just watched, but Cosmo plays it around Mom. Can they play it around Bismo? They cannot. The ball's in the corner where Baynock is waiting, though. They play it around 1, but Mom swoops in to steal it away.
Right now, Boise State again back in this position they were in the first half. All on their side of the field, bunched up, grumbling, stumbling, unable to find their clear. Now a minute and a half is just what's about left, and Cosbuster now looking to make the play up the side, plays around Ches, solo play, and Cosmobuster's the hero.
That's what we like to see. I really don't know how that played out for you because that seemed almost impossible to pull off, but Cosmo, you found a way.
Back to
okay. Thank you, 4th player.
And Ches, that's actually a very crucial. Yep. I told you, Mom indeed knows best. She's going to tie it up for both these teams again.
Mom, why are you making me feel this way?
Pushing Boise State to a timeout yet again with all the demos being brought out. It's just very formidable player along with Ches and Bismo. So now it's tied up again. The Broncos got to find another goal. Will they be able to do it? I am not quite sure, but we'll find out. We got 1 minute left, all tied up.
Baynock has possession. Can they play it around Bismo? They cannot. The ball is spiked into the back corner on Boise State's side of the field. Cosmo gets a touch on it. Has to play it around Bismo. Bismo, though, still maintaining possession. Ball dropped down. Lions and Baynock here benched up just a little bit. Bismo tries to get a touch on it. Can't find it. Lions plays around Ches. Now Boise State is closer to the Minnesota goal than Minnesota, but the rotations came out very fast from them. Mom now with a great clear. Goes off the backboard from Cosmo, though, but Ches at the midfield stops the ball from getting across the midfield stripe.
Gotta watch out for the shots on goal here and find your clear and fast. Baynock unfortunately messes up this passing lane, and that means Cosbuster has to defend here, and does. With only 10 seconds left, it's probably going to head into an overtime. Not what the Broncos wanted at all, unless they could score a buzzer beater here. Can they, in fact, do it? It's their last chance here. Cosmo's going to try to get a shot on goal with the help of Baynock, but it goes flying over him, and they're going to leave it to an overtime.
All right, we are in golden goal territory right now. Both teams hungry for that one goal. Whoever gets this victory goes into the top 8 in the playoff series here, which is no pressure, but a lot of pressure at the same time for these players, because you want to walk away with the win knowing you did the best you can. Anybody's game still tied 0 aside. Boise State gets a shot on goal, but that crossbar is the fourth player.
There
it doesn't
is.
matter, though, with Baynock's there for the follow-up shot. Boise State walks away with the Game 5 win.
Just barely, though, by the skin of their teeth. And, you know, that's not to discount everything the Broncos did. They make some great plays in that game of 5, but I was going into this with the mentality, especially in that first round, thinking, you know, the Broncos have got, if they win this, they got to be thanking their lucky stars, because there were moments where I was thinking they had no business winning this. Minnesota, what can I say? You've got a formidable team, and I hope, you know, this is a double qualifier. I hope we see more of you in the finals, because you're a team that can adapt and really put the pressure on others.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take a short break. Boise State managing to get to the top 8 teams. We'll be back, give the Broncos a break, an opportunity to grab their breath right now after a game like that. We'll take a breath right now ourselves. You go get some water and a snack, and we'll be back with the rest of the CRL Rocket League qualifiers.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You're joining us for our coverage of the CRL Rocket League qualifiers. Boise State having a very tough win against Minnesota, who drove them to a Game 5 in overtime. The Broncos just barely managing to eke out that one and go to the top 8 teams. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Rain to cover all the action. Now the Broncos have made it to the top 8, and this is a very big landmark moment for them, a very nice performance in these qualifiers. Still haven't quite made it to qualifying for the finals, but they are well on their way. And one of these moments is, this is a great time to kind of talk about one of the players that we have and just highlight some of their great plays, because we have so many great players here, from Cosmo to Baynock to Lions, that we actually wanted to do a player highlight and highlight Baynock for a moment.
Oh, look at Doc's little... That's so sweet, Doc. I hope Baynock gets the opportunity to see that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, and I'm sure it would contribute to his always happy mood, just like Doc says. Baynock has been around for quite a while in Boise State esports and was actually kind of a hero in the last game. He was the one to score the winning goal against Minnesota. As we take a look at some of the replays that he has to offer here, this was an insane kickoff by him. He was doing all the work to contribute to this goal, or rather the attempt of the goal thereof.
Definitely a very strong player for Boise State. All around, these players are absolutely fantastic Rocket League players. Baynock has been here for quite some time, so of course we got to give some love to the veterans here on our team. Definitely one of the reasons why we've made it into the top 8. I don't know any fancy names for the top 8. You know, we got the Sweet 16 and the Final 4. I don't know what they call the top 8 in the terms of basketball, but we'll just call it the top 8 for now. So we're in a very good position, but Boise State needs to keep up the good work and the hard work they've been putting in. Apologies to you guys. This is probably a very exhausting day having to do best of 5s, but let's hope that you can keep putting in the work like you just did in the last 2 games.
Yep, we're just about ready to head into Boise State's next match against Colorado University as the Broncos look to continue on their winning streak. So I don't see necessarily a reason to wait any longer before this match. Of course, these players are going to have to remember the fundamentals that we gave to them at the beginning of the night. So remember those Doc's keys to the game. Bump opponents to disrupt, punish overcommits, don't overstay your welcome, and get ready to head into it. And Doc's keys to the game, here we are. Create mistakes, punish the double commit, don't overstay, and bump and demo opponents to disrupt. Brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you.
So one of the things that we did touch on earlier, you mentioned it, especially because we might end up seeing Minnesota again, is that we do have the quote-unquote losers bracket. I always call it the redemption bracket because someone in that bracket ends up in the championship match. And if Boise State can continue to win here and go all the way into the championships, they will have a 1-point advantage going into that. So I'm not positive. I can't remember if this is they'll have to win 2 back-to-back in championships, or if they get a 1-point advantage. So therefore, if they win the first game of the championships, they walk away with the victory, or if they have to play 2 back-to-back games. But everyone wants that opportunity to have that 1 extra point advantage here. So Boise State looking to not end up dropping down into that redemption bracket.
Right now, a lot of nice atmospheric lighting here. Lighting effects, I like it. Very moody. Right now, Boise State would like a goal, and they need to clear out here if they want to do that. And they're facing themselves pressed right up against their goal, much like Minnesota did. Baynock with the Batmobile, I might add, making the play here, almost getting the first goal for the Broncos.
Yokes has the ball stolen away by Lions. Lions now heads a stolen right back by Yokes. Yokes gets pressure from Cosmo Buster. It's centered up off the backboard, that top post, kind of playing the 4th player there for Colorado, but it's not enough as the follow-up touch from Lions has no pressure on it and goes sailing into the goal.
Cosmobuster is going to try to even it up with the equalizer. Heads back toward Yokes. Lines again with the follow-up, unable to get the goal though.
Baynock keeping possession alive here for a few extra moments. The clear does finally come out from Starvin, and Lions gets it off the back wall to Cosmo. Cosmo in front of all of the Colorado players Follow-up touch from Bannock finds a gold. I believe that's gold number 2 for Boise State, correct?
Oh, yeah, we actually had a little bit of a mix-up there in terms of team colors there. Boise State is in the blue, and they actually do lead 2-0. So, good start for the Broncos. Everything I said, strike it.
Oh, and Cosmo might be finding another one. Never mind, Yokes pinches it off that top post just at the last moment. Starvin pushing forward with the ball in front of all the Boise State players, finds goal number 1 for Colorado. Boise State still up by 1. 3 minutes, 21 seconds on the clock.
Next kickoff. Boise State, Bannock's in it. Oh, actually, look at Yokes there. That's a great play from him. It just bounces off the crossbar. Unable to get the play. Here goes Lions here. Looking for a goal. Starvin is going to bounce it off the wall. Bannock leaving it in the goal, toward the goal here. Might get a goal with the follow-up from Cosbuster. Unable to find it, though.
Yokes trying to pinch it in the corner. Starvin plays it around 1. Has no pressure on them. Flavor comes in to help them out. Cosmo Buster puts pressure on to bring it into the corner. Bannock at the mid, plays it off the wall to center it up for a teammate. But Flower gets the touch on it first. Boise State now forced to rotate yet again towards their goal. Bannock comes in to try and steal it away. Has to play it around 2. Can't do it. Lions, though, comes in to help them out.
Elevation up is going to waterfall down right in front of the goal. Cosbuster unable to capitalize on it. Heads back toward midfield. Yokes is going to be the one. I was thinking if it was going to be Flover or Yokes. Flover tries, but a reflect from Boise State is going to send it right back to Colorado's territory.
On the back wall, Cosmo. Ah, that's a rough situation to be in. We are now tied 2 aside. Boise State looking to find a 1-up here with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. Kickoff goes in favor, though, of Colorado. Bannock has pressure on them, as does Cosmo. Flubber does elevate. Cosmo plays around 2. Can't play around Starvin, though. With Bannock coming in, it's not enough yet. Starvin crossing that midfield stripe. Lion finally stalls out the ball. Yokes comes in to help, though. Shot gets turned away, as does Flubber's shot. Bannock now has to play around Starvin to get the clear, but Starvin turns back around, maintaining possession. Cosmo finally with the ball, plays around 1, hits that back wall, but Yokes is waiting there, has an opportunity to dunk it down to Starvin, does not though, and has to play it off the wall. Bannock puts pressure as Starvin gets a shot on goal, turned away by Cosmo.
Bannock not going to leave it for Cosmo in the corner here. Just goes flying right past the ball. Look at all the members of Colorado just bunched up around the ball in midfield. They're still going to manage to clear it out, though, and it might turn into a goal here. They say it's going to be kind of lucky there as we see a demo be brought out onto Flover, who now respawns. Bannock with the follow-up, finds the goal, perfectly aimed top right corner.
Boise State now up by 1 minute and 4 seconds left on the clock. They're looking for that. They're looking for one more goal to have that security goal to ensure that this one's a little bit easier for them. Cosmo with the ball tries to dunk it down, but has Yokes disrupt that opportunity right away. Starvin now off the wall, sees Yokes, has an opportunity to take a shot, pops it up, but it does get dunked down by one of the Boise State players.
Off the backboard there, Cosmo Buster. There has Lions in midfield. Boise State still looking for their clear, but Flover's going to take it away from them. Used shot on goal. And a double commit on the save is going to keep Boise State in the narrow lead.
Shot on goal from Colorado gets turned away. Boise State is still up by 1. We've got 18 seconds left on the clock. They're looking for an extra goal here just to make sure that even if there's a last-second buzzer beater from Colorado, it does not end up bringing us into overtime. Colorado, though, still not giving up. Ball at the midfield. Bannock trying to stop it, but Flubber manages to bring it into the corner on the back third Boise State side. Lions plays it around all 3 members, has pressure on them, though, centers it up to Bannock. We are now at 0 seconds left on the clock.
Boise State, if they can ground this, are going to win the first game, and they do. Getting the first win. Nice start against Colorado State, but we've seen teams at this point can even things up. Boise State Esports is always looking for top talent and production roles. Top talent on with good grades and eligibility can help increase your chances as well. To learn how to join the Bronco family, sign up at Boise State Esports, boisestate.edu/esports. So now Boise State has a good start. now needs to go up against Colorado State and get the second win here to push themselves to a match point. Is there any advice that you can give to them based off what you just saw?
Not a whole lot, but definitely make sure that you don't overcommit as frequently, because that's come out in the last series and in this series already. We saw it happen just a tiny bit. The overcommits get punished, and it's really difficult to recover from an overcommit. So just make sure you're talking to your teammates and ensuring that someone's ready to rotate back and they're not sitting with all 4 tires on the ground, not looking for the clear to happen from the other side.
Well, there you have it. Boise State ready to head into game number 2 of this best of 5. Can they get the win and push themselves to a match point? Of course, at this point, other teams can really make impressive rallies, so we'll see how that works out as Boise State is ready to head into this next match. Boise State versus Colorado University in this best of 5. We are ready to head into it, and here we go. Right now, it looks like the weather has improved considerably as we are ready to head in here.
Felt like the rain was suiting for the Batmobile, though. We got Lions spreading the ball across the midfield. It is going to be Saturn there, who's gonna send it to, sorry, it was Starvin, my apologies. Ball gets spiked high by Boise State, and we have Lions now with possession, bringing it up the midfield.
Is Boise State now ready to try to defend here? Can they be able to find the clear that they're looking for? We'll have to find out.
Cosmo Buster tries to get a shot centered up, but Yokes disrupts that one. Baynock with possession has very little pressure on them, has a little bit of a moment here to find a teammate, but decides to rotate back instead. Cosmo comes in to put pressure on Yokes. 2 members of Boise State have rotated back into the goal. We talked about this earlier. That's not what you want to be doing. I'm going to be real. Flubber's car noises are being a little distracting.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do to stay in good spirits.
Yes, and if anyone's looking at the scoreboard a little confused, Colorado is actually down by 1 game. Boise State's up by 1. Our overlay is just goofing up a little bit. There has been some technical difficulties happening across various games and mobile platforms lately. We do see a shot on goal, saved by the crossbar. Secondary touch by Starvin is turned away. Cosmo now looking to dunk it down, but Yokes gets in there, has possession, just has to play it around Lions, but can't do it. However, Flubber comes in with their clown car and finds goal number 1 for Colorado. What in the Nuggets is that car?
In the name of... Okay, it seems like both of these teams are equally being an affront to good taste and decency right now. Because my goodness, this is... I don't know. Maybe I need to adjust my television settings right now. My monitor settings. Maybe I've turned up saturation a bit too high right now.
Yeah, because what we're seeing on our monitors, guys, I'm gonna be real, your cars look very goofy. It probably is just us, though. To you, they probably look cool, and we'll just go with that.
I mean, it makes Baynock, still in his Batman car, stick out like a sore thumb even more.
Yeah, Baynock's
I mean, look, you see Lions, there's Flover, and then you got Baynock in this all...
In the tank.
In the tank.
Starvin has possession here in the corner, grabs that boost, too. Has a little pressure from Lions get put on the Flover, tries to go for the centering opportunity. Yokes does get turned away. Boise State spreading out a little bit. Lions looking to center it up, but it gets stolen away by Starvin, who sends it to Yokes. Yokes now in mid-flight, has the ball dunked down by Cosmo Buster. Baynock corrals it off the wall to pitch it and push it forward, but Starvin at that midfield goes for the return volley and is disrupted in mid-flight by Lions.
Now Boise State needs to find their clear. Baynock is able to find it. Now going up the side is going to get a demo over the Lions. Almost getting a goal, but it's just a bit widened to the corner.
Flover now has very little pressure on them, maintaining possession in mid-flight. Baynock elevates. It is spiked up by Baynock. Starvin comes in to get the ball off the back wall for a centering opportunity for a teammate. Flover might get there in time. They do. Dunks it down, and with a puff of smoke and the black hole opening up, Boise State is now down by 2. Looking at the 2-minute mark here for game number 2.
Oh, they just barely won game 1, and now in game 2, everything is kind of going wrong. Yokes almost getting another goal there. Flover there, looking great, feeling great, already has 2 goals, and Boise State is now going to try an offensive push of their own.
Cosmo trying to steal that ball away, centers it up to Baynock. Flover spikes it up into the corner, though. Baynock has possession, does have Cosmo waiting for them, but it looks like Cosmo's playing more disruption. Lions is pushed forward, not something we want to be seeing unless the rotations come out. Lion did rotate back, thankfully. Starvin gets it off the back wall where Cosmo was waiting, though, so it's dunked down into the corner. Cosmo can't play it around Yokes, though.
A bit of a push out of the way onto Yokes, too. Lion's going to set it up beautifully in front of the goal. It was gift wrapped for them, but Boise State just a little bit too slow.
Yokes now pushing forward, has possession. Cosmo gets in front of them. Lions elevates, pushing the ball just to the side in the nick of time. Now, Starvin tries to prevent that ball from crossing the midfield stripe. Manages to do it once, manages to do it twice, but finally, Lions will get the ball, elevate up, play it around one, pass it to Baynock. Cosmo's shot on goal, down into the corner where Flover was waiting, though. So Starvin now with possession, trying to do the same thing. Does hit the ceiling, though, so they'll lose their dribble. Little help from their teammates, maintain possession here on the back there to Boise's side of the field. And with no pressure, Flover redirects the ball in. Even if Flover wasn't there, that ball was going to go in.
Flover actually has the hat trick as the first player to do it tonight. So even though we gave him a lot of grief at the beginning, maybe the clown skin is the new meta. The clown skin meta being born right here.
Maybe it is, but my goodness, I hope there's a better looking meta coming out in the next series. Yikes. We have Starvin now with possession, who pinches it down into the corner. Cosmo grabbed it. We do see a demo come out onto somebody, but Lions and Cosmo both looking to get some boost here. Cosmo will find some and take out one of the Colorado players. Yokes trying to get the volley across the midfield. Cosmo stopping it. Baynock spikes it up, drags it into the corner. Flover puts pressure on them. Shot on goal from Cosmo, but turned away by Flover. Lions tries to prevent it from crossing the midfield stripe, but it's on the back third where Baynock tries to corral it away from Flover.
Double tap from Baynock. And it's not even gonna be a goal to try to boost the team morale. That's not going to work out for them. They're going to be tied now 1-1 apiece in this series. Army National Guard is one of the proud sponsors of Boise State Esports. They invite you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. At Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. So now is Boise State ready to head into game number 3. We can actually take a look and see how everything is kind of evening it up here. We kind of see the road that both teams took. And actually, I have been informed that we are actually going to be jumping a little bit of ahead in terms of the game because it is tied 1-1. So the game has to go to at least a game 4. But I've been informed that it went to a game 5 again.
Okay, all right, Boise State.
You know what? That actually is really good testament to how good all of the talent is. Not one game hasn't been 3 wins. It's at the very least Boise State's first game had 4 games out of a best of 5, and the last 2 have gone to a best of 5.
Yeah, and you don't want. We talked about it earlier. You don't want an easy win, but on the same notion, when you have to play so many games back to back to back to back, it starts to wear on you. But all of these teams have been playing throughout the entire day, so. Good luck in our last game here for for this one. They're probably all very exhausted. I'm interested to see if we see the signs of exhaustion going into this next one because typically at this point it becomes very noticeable. However, Boise State wasn't really showing it earlier, so by now 2 further games ahead we might see it, but I hope we don't.
Well, let's get ready to see what happens in Game 5. Boise State going up against CU Boulder. Both these teams have won some, they've lost some, but one team has to be the overall winner and get moving on to the next round.
Lions, unfortunately, was driving the ball down and just dunked it right on top of one of the Colorado players. Yokes is putting a lot of pressure on them as well, just forcing them out of position. Cosmo doesn't have a lot of pressure on them. Most of the Colorado players are back on their own side of the field, which is kind of awkward. Lions sending the ball to the side, on the back third of the Broncos side. Finds Baynock now, who has no pressure, no one in front of them. Easy goal number 1 at 28 seconds in. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but both teams were kind of in really strange positioning.
Yeah, it's always kind of some weird scenarios that can lead to very showy solo plays like that. But Boise State now looks like, now that they've kind of gotten a steady ground under them. They have the side control and have already turned that into a shot on goal. Didn't make it 2-0 there, but as long as they can keep control, they might be getting the victory here.
Looks like Yokes and Starvin kind of had a breakdown in communication as the ball was stolen away from Yokes by Starvin, and Starvin was low on boost, so the ball got turned back across the side of the field quickly. Baynock putting pressure on Starvin, forces them to get rid of the ball and sending it to Floverd. Cosmo dunks it over one. Follow-up touch from Lions cannot be stopped as Yokes already elevated to save the first touch, and Boise State now up by 2. 3 minutes, 54 seconds going off the clock as we go into the next kickoff, and I think Baynock might have hurt us or something because they changed their car to a very, very shiny gold car.
The most opposite color that he could have chosen.
But you still have the bat sign for your demo? Come on. Okay, whatever. It still looks cool, but all of your cars, I'm gonna be real.
Batman was, you know, he was never known for working in the daylight, let's just say.
That's true, but these car picks, at least as far as the aesthetics go, are very creative, but they seem to be working out. Baynock, very little pressure on them. Doesn't manage to play it around Yokes. Lions comes in to try to steal it away. It's the spin move. It's sweeping the leg. We've got Cosmo now. Took out one. Baynock comes in to help Cosmo out as they rotate back. Lions shot on goal will get spiked high in front of it. Gets cleared out by Starvin at the midfield, but Cosmos comes swooping in to keep the opportunity alive. Ball does go off the backcourt to Lions. Now it's right in front of the goal, but Flover finds the clear. Yokes waiting just across the midfield stripe will get punished for being stagnant there on the ground. Gets taken out in a puff of smoke. Starvin now looking to bring it across the midfield. Has no pressure on them, but does collide with one of their teammates, allowing Lions to take the ball away.
Cosmo in the corner, trying to ease it in, unable to find it. So now Boise State is going to have to look again and play some defense. Does look like they're doing a pretty good job this game, though.
Oh.
Well, okay. What I was about to compliment them for, they didn't end up pulling off, so forget all of it.
We never said anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Going into the next kickoff, we've got Cosmo Buster winning it first, but it goes straight to Yokes, who spikes it up. It's still here on the back third of Colorado side of the field. The volley finally gets returned. It's going into the corner. Yokes has possession, but Lions read it well on the ground. Takes it away, now pushing forward, trying to beat out Flover to that ball. Does use all their boosts in the process, though, so they need some help from their teammates, but Starvin is just running around, taking the ball away from everybody. Cosmo rams into them, just get an opportunity for Lions to come back and play it off the wall. Lions has Cosmo to help them out. The give and the go has happened. Cosmo trying to center it back up for Lions, but Lions has rotated back. Starvin now with possession. Two members of Colorado, very little pressure on them, but Baynock gets in the passing lane, bringing it off the wall, looking to center it up for a teammate or play it to themselves. Centers it up for Cosmo. Cosmo's shot has an opportunity, but all three members of Colorado bunched up in the goal, trying to make sure another doesn't go in.
Starvin is going to be looking to center it, but Cosmo steals it away from him. As Yokes is unable, again, Boise State has been pretty good at stealing it away from Colorado. This leads what's allowed them to keep the narrow lead here, as getting the side control themselves. We'll see if they can find a goal.
Wow, I didn't even look, but Yokes has 4 saves alone to their name.
5.
5, holy cow. Doing an incredible job on the defense there, Yokes. 3 shots on goal as well. Boise State will take out one of the Colorado players. Might open up the field just a little bit. They have respawn. Baynock trying to get possession. Starvin, though, has it. Cosmo will spike it up to Baynock in the corner. Off the ceiling, Flover will take out one of the Boise State players for a few moments. There's an opportunity for Boise State to to prevent this clear from coming out. Baynock at the mid will elevate, spiking it to the side of the field, but Flover is already pushed forward, so it's going to be hard to find this clear. Another demo comes out. Cosmo, though, no pressure on them, has a couple seconds to take a few touches and figure out what they want to do with this ball, and they'll send it to Lions, but it'll get cleared instead.
Stolen away from Baynock by Yokes, and Boise State, if they want to make a play, they're not going to have the resources to do it. They're almost all out of boost here, so they got to find a way to kind of alleviate that problem if they want to try to make some goals here, or at least rotate back fast enough, because we only have 15 seconds left. So as long as no goal is scored, Boise State will win this.
And it does look like Colorado's trying to, their rotations are breaking down a little bit. I've seen that goal open more times than anyone really wants to see it open, but so is Boise's. As Lion gets pushed off to the side and taken out, Colorado finds the equalizer with 1 second on the clock. Not quite a buzzer beater, but Jem is now crying.
Oh my goodness, that really bites.
That is a painful situation to be in. We are now in overtime in Game 5 of the top 8 here. Boise State looking for the win. Colorado thirsty for it as well. Will Baynock be able to find us another buzzer beater goal? Only the next few seconds will tell. I'm really praying this doesn't go across the 1 minute mark, but it might.
It just might. Oh, they were so close. They just didn't have to mess up. And oh boy. Well, we can't look back too much.
We can, but we can look at those badges on the board right now. Yoke's coming in clutch for Colorado with, I think that's 6 saves for them.
Yep.
That is absolutely insane. Unfortunately, Yokes, I don't mean offense when I say this. You need to be on the respawn screen when Boise State's going for a goal here again in order to allow it to go in, because you are just too strong of a defensive wall for your team. Lions putting pressure on Yokes. Ball does slightly get clear, but Yokes still maintaining a lot of possession here. Cosmo Buster tries to take it away, but Yokes stops that from happening. Colorado's pushed up off the back wall. Cosmo tries to push it forward. It does cross the midfield stripe, but the rotations are not fast enough from Boise State to prevent the return volley from happening.
Cosmo's going to leave it for Baynock in search of the clear. Starvin is going to meet him up on field. Gets pushed back, way back over to the other corner, and what's a bit of a back pass toward Flover. Flover is right there to make sure it stays back to midfield, and Colorado doesn't pay too heavily for that. Cosmo with the play, with the accuracy, and leaving it for Lions, just runs right into Starvin.
All right, we're almost at the 90-second mark into overtime here. Remember, if you are just tuning into this, we are in Game 5. This is match point for both teams, and we are in overtime. Both are hungry for a victory here, but golden goal is a very, very stressful situation to be in. Cosmo with possession. Starvin will collide with them in mid-flight. Lions will help out, sending the ball to the back third of Colorado's side of the field. Baynock has 2 pressuring them, though. Could leave an opportunity open to do the give and go to a teammate as one of them gets demolition. Flover, though, has possession. Baynock plays it around. Now the follow-up from Lions, but Yokes, the defensive wall, steals that ball again. I think that's save number 8 for them.
Yes.
They are absolutely insane.
They basically filled up the entire activity feed with saves, one after the other.
That's honestly, Yokes, you are doing fantastic, and
Wow.
it paid out for your
He's the
team.
reason he got them the win.
Congratulations, Colorado. That was well fought. Boise State, you did a fantastic job as well, bringing us all the way to a match point, Game 5 and overtime. Congratulations, Colorado, on that victory.
Well, overall, it seems like the thing that was plaguing Boise State again and again in the games they lost was how good a defense some of these teams have. It was both it was Minnesota and Colorado that just really was the Achilles heel for Boise State. Of course, this is a highlight for one of the teams, Cosmo Buster. Been around for so long, as you can attest, Nerdy.
Yes, Cosmo, Miles Herget is world famous as Cosmo Buster and is a first ballot Hall of Famer. We've never played a Rocket League match without Cosmo Buster looking on. In his final season, we are celebrating all that he has given us. Cosmo, you are a veteran and an amazing player, always smiling, and it's great to see you here in the arena. Fabulous plays. Honestly, I hope this season is giving you everything that you want for your final bow here as a Boise State esports player, and we can take a look at some of your fantastic highlights here from today's games.
Well, not all is over for Boise State because, like I said, this is score-based, so there's a lot that kind of goes into determining where Boise State is going to place in terms of the score. They've made it a long way, and it is double elimination as well.
Yes.
So for Boise State to make it as far as they have and win in overtime on a best-of-5, oh, but there were so many. I know Boise State is kicking themselves for that goal they let through with 1 second left on the clock.
It happens. It's very difficult to always play a perfect game. I mean, it is, honestly, there's so much that goes into Rocket League. I really don't know how you could play it perfectly with how many different factors go into it. However, as you mentioned, there is the second chance bracket, the redemption shot. Boise State will just be going in if they make it to the championships with a 1-game disadvantage. So that is a difficult situation to be in, but not one that's impossible to overcome.
Well, the Broncos are resolute. They will always fight on, and they aren't out of it quite yet. So we'll take a short break and be back with more esports action. You're not going to want to miss what we have. So please stay tuned to the Boise State Esports channel. We'll be back after this break.
nationalguard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Boise State is fighting in the third of this semester's CRL Carball Rocket League qualifiers. And this team is fighting very furiously to get their spot in the finals. And so let's kind of set up everything that's happened to you thus far. Boise State has won all their games but just lost one to Colorado in what was the finals. So Boise State went into that one in the upper bracket. Colorado, by winning that last game that we just saw, forced the bracket reset, which means Boise State is in the final match against them. They're going to have to play them again, and they have to win this in order to win the tournament.
Yes, so they're probably very tired. All the teams involved very, very tired, especially Colorado having to fight through that second chance redemption bracket. Can be a very stressful situation for everyone involved, but they came out on top, and they came out swinging in their match against Boise State for the first one. Forcing the reset, it's a hard thing to do, but they managed to do it. However, let's hope it didn't shake Boise State up too much.
Well, I mean, even though they forced the reset, it was a very close one. It went all the way to Game 5. It went all the way to an overtime in Game 5. Boise State almost scored the winning goal, but this defender, the defense on Colorado, was the most clutch I've ever seen. Well, we're going to get ready to jump into this. We're going to jump a little bit midways into the game with Boise State and Colorado. We'll see how the teams have done thus far in this overall series. Before we get to that, of course, I think now would be a good time to leave the Broncos with a final Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, and that is to create mistakes, punish double commits, don't overstay, and bump opponents to disrupt. Doc's keys to the game brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. All right, ready to head into this match of this best of 5. Boise State already playing midway through with Colorado. And we'll see if Colorado can get the win here. But the Boise State has a very formidable opponent.
That defense, the defense that we've seen from all the teams basically this entire evening has just been so freaking strong. And the tried and true, your best defense can become your best offense, has played out quite well for a lot of these teams. So, I mean, no matter how many shots you take, when you've got someone like Yoke making over, 7 or 8 saves in a single game, that's really difficult to overcome unless you just take Yoke out of the equation entirely, which is an option. We might see that happening here in this next game.
We'll just have to find out as Boise State is ready to go up against Colorado again in this bracket reset. This is the finals to determine who will win this tournament, this qualifier, and be the one to move on to the Grand Championships of CRL, most prestigious Rocket League tournament that Boise State has been fighting for since the moment this program started, and it's evaded them so many times, but now it's just within their reach. As we move in, Boise State already positioning themselves at match point, so they look like they're sitting pretty, but they were in this situation last time as well.
Can't get too comfortable even when you're up by 1 game or 2 games, as every competitor we've seen this evening has definitely used that comfort to their advantage as Boise State becomes a little laxed on things. Does not look like they're letting that happen here this time, though. Baynock plays it around 1 off the wall, and there's no one in front of them. Flover can't rotate back in time, and everyone on the side of Colorado had like nothing in their tanks there, so they had no chance of catching up to Baynock there, as they had as much resources they could ever want when the rest of the other team has nothing.
I mean, I guess the moral of the story is there, make sure you have boost, or else Baynock will run circles around you. But look at Lions almost getting another goal there in a last-minute save by Starvin this time. It's going to translate into a clear for Colorado. Lions steals it away with force, though. Cosbuster, now Lions are working to clear this up and almost get another shot on goal, but just a little bit too much defense from Colorado.
Baynock goes up for the 50-50, forcing one of the Colorado players to get rid of it. Dunking it down right in front of Yokes was Cosmo, so Yokes was forced out of position to make the first save, allowing Lions to get that secondary touch and get that first goal for Boise State. Well, second goal for Boise State. So I guess that's the plan, is force Yokes to make the defensive play first and then just go for the follow-up touch. If it works twice in a row, it will probably continue to work unless someone else rotates back for Colorado, in which case it's a double commit, and that's even harder to overcome if you're on the defense.
Colorado with a shot on goal saved by the Broncos. Cosbuster plays off the wall to continue the clear. Yokes with the tap there is going to push it back into Colorado's control. Baynock now with a little bit of a flip, a twist around. I don't know if now's the time to be showboating right now. I'd rather have a goal.
Ball pushed in the corner. Cosmo took out whomever was sitting there. I think it was Yokes, right?
Yeah, it does look like Yokes has respawned indeed. Cosmo with another shot here, trying to line it up, and Baynock, another shot is just going to go wide of the goal.
Lions centered it up there, but Flover gets it clear. It goes to Yokes, but Yokes, who has just had all 4 tires on the ground, gets taken out because they were sitting there, forced to respawn again. I mentioned it that they might see the respawn screen quite a bit, but they're not even in a defensive position. They're getting taken out right now, which unfortunately, when you're demoed frequently, it can start to tilt you and make it easier for Boise State to overcome you because you're tilting on the mental. So let's hope Yokes maintains their composure in this game. It looks like they are sailing through the air now with some nice rotation to maintain a possession of that ball. Dunks it down to Flover, who finds goal number 1 for Colorado.
Next kickoff in favor of Cosmo. Baynock now is looking, he actually just flies right under it. So Yokes in mid-air just doing some great taps. I think that was a triple tap there, pushing it toward the goal. Now Lions is going to go on the rebound with the clear. Starvin looking to corral it back across the midfield line. Over to Boise State, and Cosbuster is just going to run right into him to stop him.
Lions pushes the ball forward, just a little bit too far to one side. Cosmo tries to get it centered up, but Starvin's there. All 3 members of Colorado looking to put pressure on Cosmo. Now Yokes is rotated back towards the goal. Baynock pops the ball up, trying to play it off the wall to center it up for themselves or someone else. Centers it up for Cosmo. Cosmo has an opportunity to take a shot. Not enough speed on the ball, though. Flover brings it into the corner on Boise State's side of the field, pushing Lions around. Baynock comes in to help them out, but Starvin maintaining possession for Colorado here in the corner.
Lions just a little bit of a pass. Actually, Flover, a weird angle, and the bounces. Balance off of him is going to turn into a clear for Boise State, so I bet they're glad about that. Have just a minute over left with Boise State maintaining this narrow lead. They'd love to get it back up to that 2-goal lead, though, get an insurance goal for themselves.
Got Yokes pushing around one of the Boise State players. One of the Colorado players goes down in a plume of smoke. We're hitting that minute mark. Baynock with possession loses it out to Starvin. Yokes trying to put pressure on somebody, can't decide who though, and it allows Flover to get in and take out one of the Boise State players, but that rotation might have been too soon and put them out of position. Yokes though finally finds the volley. Baynock stalling it right in front of the goal area for Boise State on the back third. Tries to get it clear, barely misses it, but Cosmo has very little pressure off the wall. Looks to dunk it down to a teammate, finds Lions, but Flover gets in the passing lane, bringing it in front of the Boise State goal, and Baynock presses them off to the side.
There goes Yokes, leaving it for Baynock, pushing it up. It's just over to the right. Now a wide opportunity for Colorado to clear. They're going to have to get a goal right here and right now if they want to keep things going. They only have 10 seconds left. But they, you know, in the last match, they did it with only 1 second left on the
this
clock.
Might be it. Please don't be it. Please don't be it. Oh,
It's
Flover,
it.
you're going to do it. Okay.
These 1 second goals against the Broncos. Again, it happens to the Broncos, and Colorado ties it up, making it go to overtime.
You hear us talk about it from time to time. It's that extra security goal, and that is what it's for. You don't want to be up by 1. You need to be up by 2, because those buzzer-beater goals, they happen, and they've almost happened every single game thus far this evening because of how close they have been. And now we are at overtime, and this is a difficult situation for both teams. Playing all day, best-of-5 series. And Boise State at match point, though, Colorado looking to start the reverse sweep here. Only the next couple of minutes, hopefully only a few seconds, honestly, will tell. As Yokes grabs the ball and volleys it over towards the Boise State side of the field, Cosmo centers it up for Baynock, who plays it around 1, but it's going off the backboard, and I don't think Lions will make it there in time to be the tertiary touch.
Yokes now centering it up for Starvin, but Boise State kind of all in front of their goal, keeping that goal ball from going in. The question is, when can they clear and turn it around into some offense? No. And Flover is going to keep the side control for Colorado. They've been pretty dominant. They've been in control as soon as this overtime has started.
Baynock tries to find the volley. They do find it, but Starvin off the wall sends it over to Flover on the back third of Colorado's side of the field, though. So they got to get a little bit more forward momentum going here in order to find possession and field side control. Cosmo centers it up off the back wall, but 2 of Colorado's players are waiting there. That double commit might be punished in a couple seconds, but it's not capitalized on fast enough. Baynock dunks it down in front of the goal. Opportunity for Cosmo, but it gets pushed aside by one of the Colorado players. Now ball crossing the field. Baynock takes out one. Flover has centered it up. 2 Boise State players in the goal. Cosmo, though, finds it on the side. Hasn't played around Starvin. Can't, as the 50-50 goes in favor of Colorado. Lions, though, sending it to the corner on Colorado's side of the field.
Way back over to the corner. Flover trying to find a clear. Broncos with an opening here.
Oh, Yokes!
Is this deja vu that I'm seeing right now? It's the exact same thing that Yokes did.
8 frickin' saves. Holy cow, Yokes. That is insane.
That looks like that is going to be it. Starvin finding the goal there.
All right, we are at match point for both teams and in Game 5 after that overtime.
Right. Yeah, very similar to how the last game turned out as well.
Honestly, I really hope Boise State realizes how to outplay Yokes on the defense, because Yokes, oh my goodness, they are absolutely incredible with those saves. But the way to make it work is to be ready for that follow-up touch. It worked twice in a row. It's just Boise State didn't facilitate it to keep happening, which was make Yokes make the save, be ready for that save to happen, and then do the follow-up touch and get the ball in. So that's what they got to do. I mean, when you got someone who's going to be there for that first save, no matter what.
I mean, that's a lot easier said than done,
yes,
though. But
yes, of course.
and you kind of alluded to it. And this isn't the first time the tournament, but the Rocket League tournaments especially take a lot out of these players. I mean, you were talking to me over the break how tired these players look after they finish.
Yes, especially when all of these games are played back to back to back to back. The exhaustion doesn't quite hit you until you have the opportunity to step away from the computer for a couple minutes, which you do after a round is concluded, and both these teams did have that opportunity after that first game and the bracket reset happened. And that is when you are at the final stretch, kind of rounding that last corner of the track, so to speak, that the wave of exhaustion can start hitting you. And it's important to not let it get to you.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully the Broncos don't let it get to them. They entered to this leading by 1. Now it's going to go to a Game 5 as it did last time. This is for the championship, though, and who can make their way to the grand finals, the national championship. Broncos, this squad has been after it so much, and they want this win.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. He did it. Nicely done, Baynock. Oh, no. Flover again.
Yeah, that's just the way it turns out sometimes. Starvin, that was quite an elevate there to try to waterfall it down. Didn't get a goal, but nice start out by Colorado State. Oh yeah, that's what you were. I was wondering what Flover did in order to get your grief, and yeah, there it is. The clown is back.
It worked out so though. Like they had no pressure. I think maybe the confetti noise is just really irksome to some people, and they're like, I don't want to be around that car, and so it's playing out in Flover's favor. Yokes goes in for the shot on goal. Right, it does get turned away though.
But I wouldn't want to be the sound of something that's associated with parties and happiness that irks you. I mean, it seems like any player that would be annoyed with that has some problems to work out themselves. I hear happiness.
I think a clown.
They're like remember Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents? I heard happy.
Yes. Yes, oh my goodness, that is, okay, maybe I'm a Vicky. I don't want to be a Vicky, but maybe I am.
I think as kids we all turned into Vickies beyond what we wanted.
I think you're right, and right now Boise State might be turning into Vickies themselves as Colorado finds this equalizer with 4 minutes still on the clock. We're basically at 0 aside, both teams at match point. And no one really wants to be here. I mean, yes, for Colorado, this is a situation they want to see happening because it brought it back for them. But for Boise State, they did not want to come to this.
Yep. Welcome to the grand finals. No one wants to be here.
Okay.
But I mean, after a long day, I get it. The fatigue is surely setting in for both these teams, but one of them has to clutch it out right now and get the win. Yokes almost, I'm surprised that wasn't a goal for Colorado, but Lions finding a way to save it. Flover passing back to midfield. Cosbuster shot is wide and to the left. Boise State's going to try again, though, with the rebound. And Lions off the left post again. And Boise State sure fighting for it, but not finding the goal.
We're almost at the 3-minute mark here in game number 5, tied 2 aside. Boise State looking for 2 goals, Colorado looking for 2 goals. I really hope Boise State finds 2 so we don't see a buzzer beater take us into overtime, but Colorado almost had another goal number 3 for them there. Flover's shot was turned away at the last possible second, but there was a demolition that came out, so Boise State's down 1 for a few moments. Baynock manages to get it to Cosmo here in the corner. Baynock's shot on goal will go in. Up by 1, Boise State at 2 minutes, 39 seconds left on the clock. They need another goal, though. They are not in a good position just yet, as Colorado has shown them time and time again. They can make the plays happen at the last possible second, and it does not phase them at all.
That was a very slick play there by Baynock, who actually has the hat trick. It's all 3 goals were his. Of course, Cosbuster getting the assistive hat trick, if you will, assisting on all of those as well.
Oh, I'm so glad Baynock did not try to turn at that angle. That could have been an own goal situation. We see it happen quite frequently in Rocket League. I never like seeing it. We have Cosmo find the clear around Yokes, but they can't find it around Flover. Passes it to Yokes, who had very little pressure on them. Yokes dunking it down, looking for a teammate, but Lions just goes in and challenges them for possession. Baynock taking down 1 of the Colorado players. He's cherry picking a bit here, but can't get possession of that ball.
Here goes Yokes, elevating up, leaving it down. Oh, no, it has to be Baynock.
Thank you, Baynock. Much appreciate. Can you do it again, please? Lions doesn't thank you. We've got Flover, though, looking to try and get possession. Does not force to rotate back. Yokes here has the pressure being put on them. Starvin rotates back. Flover's shot turned away by Baynock. Lions now in mid-flight with this ball, looking to pass it back off that backboard, but it's going to be volleyed across the midfield. Starvin racing to the back third of Boise's side of the field. Yokes shot on goal, going to be a little bit too wide. Flover's there for the follow-up touch. Lions waiting for the perfect opportunity to elevate. Finally does, pushing Flover away from the goal area.
Ooh, bounces right over Yokes there. Leaves it for Baynock to make the play. Starvin hanging back near the goal to defend. Lions answering that back. Baynock's waiting for the follow-up. There's the play, and it's disrupted by Colorado.
It does look like Baynock got taken out in the process. They rotated back. Never mind, my apologies. Lions waiting in the goal for Yokes' shot to try and come in. Lions gets in that passing lane, putting pressure on Flover. Ball still alive here in the corner on Boise's side of the field. Cosmo plays around 2. Can they play it around another one? They can't. There's no one else to beat. It's up for Flover. Now Yokes has finally gotten into the goal as well. Pass back to Lions has happened. It's a little too far back, so the ball's on the back third of Boise's side of the field as Lions gets pressure put on them from Flover and Yokes. Oh no. Oh, okay, thank you, Cosmo Buster.
Well, look at that. Look at that disruption right into Lions there. He can't gain his footing, but now he does, and that helps Boise State get to clear. I am so surprised that was not Baynock getting demoed there.
I thought that would be a double demo, in all honesty. I'm with you on that one. We do have the possession here change favor, though.
But there's no time left on the clock. Okay, they actually do it.
Yes.
Boise State in Game 5 on the bracket reset, managing to win the tournament. The Collegiate Carball Open Qualifier. That means both squads have won and gotten a ticket to the finals. After so much work, CRL, they finally achieved it.
Good job, guys. Way to go. Now go fight your siblings for the top spots. Have fun.
Well, overall, Boise State doing a great job there. Of course, one of the reasons that they can do a great job is with the help of sponsors like ICCU, who brings us the player of the game. And do you have any nominees?
My nominee is going to be Baynock.
Okay, yeah, he made a lot of great solo plays. Like if there was a solo player, it was going to be Baynock.
That was beautiful, Doc.
And yeah, Doc approves.
All right, do you have a counter, or are you gonna go with me for Baynock?
I mean, if Baynock was the clutch for players, because each player you could give the player of the game for a different reason.
Oh yeah, totally.
Baynock and Cosbuster work so well together in just making these shots on goal. But Lions is such a clutch save for Boise State. There were so many opportunities, including in that last game where Colorado almost got the goal, but a last-minute save from Lions. Got it, but it's got to be Cosmo, the veteran.
It's okay. We can both be wrong. It happened many times tonight.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Cosmo.
Yeah, Cosmo is just kind of such a consistent player in lining things up for shots on goal.
Nicely done. Well deserved. You guys all fought very hard this evening. Hopefully you got a little bit of a break, I think.
Yeah, they can take a long break now and get ready for the grand finals, which are ahead of them. But great job. It's brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Cosmo Buster is your ICCU player of the game. And just one more play from him. Very crucial goal here against Colorado. But it also just kind of shows how good Colorado was here in just being able to defend and get very clear shots on goal. That was a clutch save by Cosmo in that case.
For sure, well deserved. I mean, as you mentioned, we could have given the player of the game to anybody, honestly, on that team. But my closing thoughts, honestly, on this one, just good luck going against your other teammates. Good luck.
And the rest of the teams. If this is the teams we meet in the qualifier, the ones that actually made it to the finals, ooh, that's something to practice for.
Yes.
We'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking.
Collide with one of their teammates, allowing Lions to take the ball away.
Cosmo in the corner, trying to ease it in, unable to find it. So now Boise State is going to have to look again and play some defense. Does look like they're doing a pretty good job this game, though. Well, okay. What I was about to compliment them for, they didn't end up pulling off, so forget all. On the back foot, Cosmo picking up the corner boost. Just, there you go. There's the clear that they were looking for. Just going to waterfall down toward the goal. Cosmo tries to squeeze it in, but unable to. It's the second attempt from the Broncos. Baynock is going to get it in overtime. Boise State now.
In overtime, Cosmo Buster collide with Bismo. Mom with possession. Cosmo tries to dunk it around them, but Ches comes in to help them out. It's in the back third of Boise State side of the field. Lions plays it around one. Can they play it around another? They can. That's shot on goal. Backboard, though. Follow-up touch. Tertiary touch from Cosmo.
There it is.
Minute and 18-second long overtime.
Force, though. Cosbuster. Now Lions are working to clear this up and almost get another shot on goal, but just a little bit too much defense from Colorado.
Baynock goes up for the 50-50, forcing one of the Colorado players to get rid of it. Dunking it down right in front of Yokes was Cosmo, so Yokes was forced out of position to make the first save, allowing Lions to get that second mission. Flover, though, has possession. Baynock plays it around. Now the follow-up from Lions, but Yokes, the defensive wall, steals that ball again. I think that's save number 8 for them.
Yes.
They are absolutely insane.
They basically filled up the entire activity feed with saves, one after the other.
Yeah. took a second chance, trusted you again. I feel shattered. Broken strings cause you play me like a violin. Shame on me for all your 7 deadly sins. Had it all but you craved attention, drowning in your own reflection. Put me down just to see me get back up again. 6 feet under and you're ready to give all the pain. If I was your new addition, you make me part of your equation. Shattered from the past, wish you were my last. Shattered me to pieces like broken glass. Frozen looking at pictures that we took back in the summer. I thought that I would remember how we used to feel, but this isn't real. Now we're over. Take it all, there's nothing left here anyway. We used to talk, but now we don't know what to say. Now we're just 2 passing strangers. We tried, you lied, goodbye forever. Put me down just to see me get back up again. 6 feet under and you're ready to give all the pain. If I was your new addition, you make me part of your equation. Shattered from the past, wish you were my last. Shattered me to pieces like broken glass.
Came from a broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through. Claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance. Show me that you mean it. We'll feel some type of way. Something must be wrong with me. Keep wanting just to see you show up at my door. Et même quand je suis froide, un peu indifférent, tu continues tout de même de montrer tes efforts. I'm trying to keep my heart in peace. I just can't think about the way that I feel. It's too hard to trust. I mess it up. I just can't risk to be falling like this. Oh, ooh. Why do you keep chasing clouds?
but you sleep in my clothes. No, it ain't right, I've been stressing at night. We're together, but I feel alone. How long do I stand here in the fire? How long do I try before I'm on my own? How long do I walk across the wire? Stay till we fall. We don't know how to act. We get chaotic and say things we wanna take back. Is there a reason that we're still together? How long do we stand here in the fire? How long do we try before we're on our own? How long do we walk across the wire? Stay till we fall. Give me something to hold on to. I can't help how I think about you. You've moved on like I'm about to. 'Cause you don't really know my
lost your mind. Don't know the direction to your side. Got the wrong impression. I thought that we were fine, but now it's turned to ice. So you decide, and I just wait. I don't get you, I don't chase. So you decide, and I'll just save my time. I guess we'll never know, but don't say that you're sorry. Don't say that you're sorry, girl. 'Cause we came almost too close, but don't say that you're sorry. You don't really want me, girl. It's already broken. I don't wanna talk. I'm already looking for something more. But if you wanna link up, you can hit the line. Call me anytime. So you decide, and I'll just wait. I don't get you, I don't chase. So you decide, and I'll just save my time. I guess we'll never know, but don't say that you're sorry. Don't say that you're sorry, girl. 'Cause we came almost too close, but don't say that you're sorry. You don't really want me, girl. Don't leave me on, don't let my phone. Don't leave me on if you don't really want me, girl. Don't leave me on, don't let my phone. Don't leave me on if you don't really want me, girl. I heard that you wanna be something. Why you gotta treat me like nothing, yeah? I heard that you wanna be something. You're already talking. I guess we'll never know, but don't say that you're sorry. Don't say that you're sorry, girl. We came almost too close, but don't say that you're sorry. You don't really want me, girl. Don't leave me on, don't let my phone. Don't leave me on if you don't really want me, girl. Don't leave me on, don't let my phone. Don't leave me on if you don't really want me, girl.
Breathing like I'm short on air. And every time we reach a new horizon, it's like you don't care. And we're leading something bare. And in the water I see cold reflections of what's really there. I'm not waiting, no. Our time has come. We're fighting empires, and I want to feel the fire again. It's not easy to love when the world is numb. We're fighting empires, and we're gonna feel the fire again.
Tell me what's bothering you. We know we're future proof. We know we're future proof. Tell me the truth. Tell me what's bothering you. We know we're future proof. We know we're future proof. Tell me the truth. Tell me what's bothering you. We know we're future proof. We know we're future proof. Tell me the truth. Tell me what's bothering you. We know we're future proof. We know we're future proof. Tell me the truth. Tell me what's bothering you. We know we're future proof. We know we're future proof.
You wanna know my feelings every time I look in your eyes. Baby, I can feel your energy, it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I. Everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
Welcome to this broadcast of the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You're watching coverage of the ECAC in Rocket League. My name is Artie Nerdy Bird Rain, and joining me to call all of the action is Jacob Jim Palmer once again. So we have an audience. This is, of course, very exciting. We just got to see one heck of a tournament series going against Colorado with our Boise State team. We have a different roster going into this next series. What are you hoping to see?
Well, I'm hoping to see what the Broncos do best. Those great aerial plays, the teamwork that they're known for, the very kind of out-of-nowhere hero plays that you see from players like Baynock. We have a great lineup that is ready to go, so I can't wait to get into the match. This is a live match, so we're just ready to join the players on stage when we are. And we have an actual audience in the arena. It's been a while, and it's great to have an audience
Finally, we have an audience. COVID, thank you for ruining that for a while for us, but finally we're back.
Well, it's great, and the best thing is the cowbells return as
yes,
well.
The cowbells are back, so you'll be hearing a lot of those as our Broncos hopefully dominate the field in due fashion here in this game and close this one out very quickly so both of us can get a rest for our voices. But if they don't, you know, that's just how it is. And on the third day, they said, let there be light, and now I am blinded. Okay, so let's take a look at how this evening's going to shake out for our Broncos and take a quick look at the lineup if we have the opportunity to do that, and possibly just maybe get some tips for our players to listen to prior to the start of the match. And you can see there our lovely audience in our theater seats. Yes, there we go. Thank you, guys.
And, of course, the players that we have lined up, it's going to be Baynock, Cosmo Buster, and Lions. The team that just got their ticket to the CRL qualifiers. They have been after that for years, and so they got to be feeling good. This is just kind of a little bit of extra, you know, sprinkles on top of the cake, if you will.
So if they win this one, it's kind of like a victory lap, so that'll be nice for them. Hopefully they're not too exhausted going into this next match, because these could be very taxing games. Good luck to you three. I wish you the best of luck, but ultimately your skills are going to determine how this shakes out. Before we jump into this match, though, we have, of course, Doc's keys to the game, and we'll take a quick look at those in a moment.
Yes, Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League is to set play style, understand rotations, play to follow up, and of course, employ those sweaty comms. Those are brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. You can play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and experiences for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. And the opening lineup that you just saw is also brought to you by Count Identity Trust Global Network, so thank you to Count. So we're ready to head into our first match, jumping into it in progress. Boise State is going to be in, it looks like the blue, actually, and actually we are looking at the other squad that we have here, Gil, Danger, and Instinct. So actually this is going to be a nice, interesting change of pace. We haven't seen this squad today.
Yes, this is a squad that already secured their spot in CRL moving forward with our team, so they'll have to battle it out later. But for now, in ECAC, they have to take on Johnson and Wales. Gil goes for the shot on goal off the back wall. The follow-up from Instinct is there, not quite fast enough, so it does get saved by Aang, no mechanics. And another save from Ants will send it to the side where Instinct was waiting.
And just quick clarification, Boise State is in fact in the blue, Johnson and Wales is in the orange. Sometimes there's a bit of a mix-up on the scoreboard, but just remember, Boise State blue, what you've always associated with them. And right now, Danger making the play with a shot on goal, but is not going to find it. Instinct now is going to have to rotate back as Gil gets demo, and that's going to lead to an opening from Johnson and Wales.
That was honestly a perfect play from Johnson and Wales. We talk about pushing and moving to disrupt, but demoing, when you're in the right rotation and you take out the goalie and everyone else from the defending side is behind you, there's no stopping you at that point. So unfortunately for Gil, you'll have to start working on laying those demos, one of Doc's older keys to the game, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it. We still got plenty of time for you to catch back up.
Well, Instinct already off to an explosive start, has been getting 3 shots on goal. Gil's going to get his first of the round, but it doesn't amount to anything as Danger goes around the corner to get the centering pass. It's wide open, but Gil's way too far back on the field because he wants to defend right now. He's going to pass it over to Instinct, who plays it off the wall, past midfield. Now Dre's looking to intercept. He is going to be able to do that, put it back in the possession of Johnson and Wales. Boise State trying to make the play, though. Instinct shot on goal off the crossbar, but still no goal for the Broncos.
Danger elevates at the mid, but Aang gets there first, sending it into the corner. Instinct trying to loop around. We got a double commit from Boise State in front of the goal. Instinct, though, won't allow Johnson and Wales to capitalize easy on it, finding it at the midfield now. Aang trying to get possession. Dre putting pressure on Danger. Danger will go down in a plume of smoke now. Aang, ball gets spiked high up the ceiling, allowing Dre to pick it up. It's here in the corner. Danger putting pressure on Aang. Now Antsy comes in, shot on goal, and it's going to go right past Gil, finding goal number 2 for Johnson and Wales.
And Boise State really seems to be fumbling here. You see no one is back on the other side of that goal called back post. Gil doesn't take the time to rotate back there, and he pushes way too far up, so the ball goes flying right past him. Seems like Boise State is really being punished for some mispositioning we've seen in front of their goal, especially that double commit that we've also seen. They're going to start out with a force as Danger gets a demo right off of the goal. Can they turn that into a goal? They're going to turn it into some side control, and the follow-up pass to Instinct is just knocked out of the way by Johnson and Wales, who is reading Boise State's plays quite well.
Gil trying to put some pressure on Dre, who finds the clear, sending it to Aang. At the midfield, gets a shot on goal, but it's a little too far. Danger now with possession, doing some great aerial work. Gets interrupted by Antsy, but Gil helping them out, passes it over to Instinct. Still have a lot of pressure from Johnson and Wales as the ball is sitting here in the back third on Boise State, and they are bunching up quite a bit. Instinct finds the clear with the touch from Danger. Goal number 1 for the Broncos. Down by 1 currently, still plenty of time left on the clock. Looks like the gears are finally getting well oiled and things are getting cleaned up for Boise State. Let's see if they can get another one of these to tie us up.
Now Boise State, with just 2 minutes left, just needs one more to be able to equalize this. Gil is going to be contesting as Dre pushes it over him. Gil gets the tap he wanted off the wall. It's answered back by Antsy. Johnson and Wales to center, stopped by Instinct around the corner, and Danger is going to get in his passing lane. It's going to be the give and go around the corner, trying to center it up so there can be a shot on goal, but Gil goes flying right over it, and Boise State is going to have to defend as Aang gets the clear he was looking for.
Instinct grabs that ball off the ground, is in the air, trying to dunk it down onto someone, but Dre collides with them. Shot on goal from Danger. Goal number 2 for the Broncos. We are tied 1 aside, 92 seconds left on the clock in this first game of a best-of-5 series.
Sometimes it just takes a little time to get used to the other team, and you see Instinct back in the goal. They're no doubt doing some of that disruption we were talking about in Doc's Keys to the Game. Helping to knock those goalies out of the way really helps your chances of getting a goal, needless to say. Now as the kickoff goes slightly in favor of Johnson and Wales, Instinct is going to be looking to clear. Tries to play it in midfield. It goes into a very fortuitous angle, but Antsy with a deflect is going to head off to the corner as Dre tries to get the clear. Danger is going to try to stop him right here. Doesn't get the tap he wanted. Boise State has to charge back to their own goal to stop a shot here from Johnson and Wales.
We've got quite the forward commit coming out from Johnson and Wales right now. Instinct pushing forward, has an opportunity to center it up for someone, but Dre gets in there first. Now, ball in the back third of Boise State side of the field. Gil with possession, plays it around Antsy. Can they play it around Aang? They'll just take Aang out in the process, but Dre gets possession of the ball as that demolition goes off. Instinct returns the volley, but Antsy stops it at the midfield stripe.
Gil to elevate up with a very crucial save, and Danger is going to pass it over to Instinct, but Antsy still has something to say about it. They want Johnson and Wales to try to get the lead here as we have just half a minute left, and it is still tied 2-2. 30 seconds left. Danger needs to find the clear here.
Oh.
Shot by Dre is just up and to the left, giving Boise State time to clear. That's a dangerous demo onto Danger, of all people, of course. And Gil is going to try to clear it. Antsy gets out of the way, actually. This is the opening for the Broncos.
Instinct
gets the goal!
All right, Broncos are up by 1. There's still 14 seconds left on the clock, and Rocket League does what Rocket League does best and likes to pull the rug out from underneath everybody. There's still plenty of time on the clock for Johnson and Wales to find goal number 3 here and equalize it to bring us into overtime. Let's see if the Boise State Broncos can stop that from happening.
Boise State needs to maintain control of this ball for the next 5 seconds. Once that ball hits the ground and the timer is gone, that means Boise State will have won their first game. And that is indeed the first win for Boise State in this best-of-5, off to a great start.
You can see everything here is pretty gosh darn equal. Antsy had quite a few shots on goal, a couple demolitions. Instinct coming in clutch with many shots, 2 assists themselves. Danger, 2 demos, 2 shots, and Gil with 1 shot on goal and 1 assist. And it does look like Aang is struggling a little bit, being starved of resources. But across the board, side control, boost to use, and total shots, pretty gosh darn equal.
Well, it seemed like Boise State just needed a little time to work things out. And if you want to join the Boise State esports team in any of the games that you see here, or Overwatch, Rocket League, League of Legends, Valorant, and Production, then you are going to want to go to boisestate.edu/esports for more information. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility, can improve your chances of being accepted as well. Once again, that's boisestate.edu/esports. So now Broncos are looking pretty good. Now they are going to go on to game number 2. If they win this, they'll head to match point in this best of 5. And overall, it seems like the Broncos just need a little bit of time to get used to Johnson and Wales.
Yeah, sometimes a little bit of a warm-up period. Hey, thankfully, it didn't take the full 5 minutes of that first game for them to warm up, because all the cylinders started firing and things just clicked, and they were controlling that field like it was nobody's business. Just the stats seem to slightly be balanced, but I feel like that balance came after Boise State started dominating in the second half.
And I also don't think you can discount just kind of the general morale boost you get with an audience cheering you on. Having that, it's great that these players can hear the audience again. The players are up there on stage. And if you look closely, that stage actually has original blue turf from the Bronco Arena. So we always try to make sure that our Broncos are playing on blue turf.
Yeah, so let's hope that blue turf and the audience can give them a little bit of an extra boost going into this next game, and we can close it out with a 3-0 wrap-up. But Johnson and Wales is a formidable opponent. They may come back swinging in game number 2. The 50-50 win in favor of Ansi, but Danger steals it away. Dre comes from across the field, gets a shot on goal, saved at the last second by Gil, who now has to play it around Ang, elevating off the ceiling, dunks it down past Ansi. Shot on goal from Danger goes in. 13 seconds on the clock, and Broncos are up by 1.
That is just laser aimed right there. Once Ansi commits, you see Ang there trying to rotate in, but doesn't react fast enough, doesn't elevate up to stop that shot on goal, and Boise State gets an early lead.
50-50 goes in favor of the Broncos. Instinct pops it up, elevating over 1. Does unfortunately not beat the ball to the back wall. Will lose out possession. Dre elevates. Gil playing it off the back wall. Does not have a follow-up just yet. Instinct finally gets that touch off that high post. Being the 4th man for Johnson and Wales, giving them the opportunity to find a clear here that Instinct immediately takes away.
Boise State still maintaining side control, though, which is always good. At least keep it in the other opponent's half of the field. Generally sets you up better for goals. It's about 1 minute has passed, and Johnson and Wales is looking for their first goal here, but nice shot from Gil is going to place it way back over towards Ang. They're going to meet up in the air, and Instinct's going to win that 50-50. Gil centers it up, actually might head in himself, but the angle just not quite right. But Danger, follow up!
Danger! Beautiful.
And this is what we talk about in teammates and communication. Instinct is communicating to Danger, setting him up for that shot. It's really good. They're in peak performance right now.
There's still almost 4 whole minutes left on this clock. Boise State up by 2. They can maintain this lead quite easily, but they just got to make sure that they keep shutting down Johnson and Wales as they've been doing. Ang slowed down a little bit too much, allowing Instinct to just steal the ball away. Instinct has to play it around Ansi. They have Dre also trying to block the passing lane. Hits the back wall. Ansi pops it up. Gil's still not giving up just yet. Dre gets a touch on it and throws back one of the Boise State players. Ang off the ceiling will grab it, but Danger dunks it down onto the corner. Ansi has possession, and Instinct goes down to Dre.
Dre now making a dribble up the field, but Instinct's just going to push right into him. Ang is going to try to set it up. Gil pushes it back into the corner, looking for the clear for Boise State. Ansi, though, is going to try to fight with Gil to take it away from him. Danger elevates up with some great aerial play. Can they center it up? Drace tries to stop, but it's not enough. Instinct gets the goal. And of course, just kind of a real return to form, I suppose, for live events such as this. Sometimes everyone knows just sometimes the Wi-Fi just always isn't as good as you want.
Unfortunately, and Rocket League in the past couple days has been having some issues.
Right.
So Psionics, it's not. It may be something on our end or one of the players' end, or it could be
really
Psionics that's having the issues right now. Yeah, we're gonna always just shift the blame a tiny bit.
But the good news actually is from what I'm seeing, it was just the observer that had the connection problem. The game has still been going on, so that's good. At least where it kind of really matters, there hasn't been any interruptions. So here we are back. Boise State still leading 3-0.
Got Danger with a high shot off the back wall. Follow-up touch from Gil. Unfortunately, Gil is just a little bit too high. Aang credited with the save. Trying to bring it up. Instinct steals it away from them. Dunks it down. Antsi's right there. And Dre at the last possible second, saving that ball from fully crossing that goal line. Now ball in the back third on the side of Boise State.
And Instinct has been really good here getting a clear. Boise State has been much better at getting the clears, not letting the ball hang out on the blue side of the field too often. But Aang is going to try to make something happen here. Antsi, though, with the follow-up, finds himself way out of position. That leaves it wide open for the Broncos to try to clear here. There goes Dre, shot toward goal. Danger tries to stop it. Very risky situation for the Broncos.
But there was a double commit that came out there from Johnson and Wales, opening up the field for Boise State to get it clear here. Gil will elevate. Antsi tries to beat them for the 50-50. He does, but Gil still carried it across the entire length of the field. Shot centered up by Instinct, turned away by Dre. Danger, pushing forward, looking to take this ball away, snags it, but it hits that top ceiling. Now gives Aang the opportunity to corral it here in the corner.
1 minute 30 seconds left in this fight, and Boise State still has a very comfortable lead. And about if you want 30 seconds, you know, to try to score each goal, then that means that Johnson and Wales is just going to have just enough time to possibly tie this up, but they really have to make something happen and fast.
And they can't let the Broncos get any more goals squeaking by. Johnson & Wales has a pretty good defense, but the Broncos' offense has just been completely unstoppable thus far. Danger slowing down, taking control of the pace here a little bit. Jukes out one player from Johnson & Wales, passes the ball to Gil, is going to bring it off the wall in the air, looking to dunk it down to Danger. Never mind. Yes, they do it anyway. Danger scores, getting them a hat trick. And Johnson & Wales game 2 looks like it's going in favor of Boise State.
Yeah, there's no doubt the insurance goal Boise needs to close this out. Here we go, just 1 minute left here in this fight, and Boise State definitely looking like there'd only be about quarter of a minute, 15 seconds for each goal, and well, that's a great save by Aang, but Johnson and Wales needs more than saves right now.
We have Gil pushing forward, centering the ball up for Danger. Instinct looking for an opportunity here, does lose possession of the ball. Aang now in the air, spikes the ball up, loses their dribble, though. Danger passes it to Instinct, who has very little pressure. Antsi's catching up, but Gil's there for the centering pass. Unfortunately, just not the right angle, and it goes wide of the goal. Dre now looking for a clear.
And with just a bit of a tap there, 30 seconds left. Boise State looks like they're cruising to a victory here. All they got to do is not be too careless and leave their goal open. Nancy's going to try to get a shot on goal, but it's stopped by Instinct. Doesn't even really get that close to the Broncos' goal. It's a bit closer now, but great play there by Instinct. Is going to clear this back out, give the Broncos some breathing room, and most likely their victory here.
All right, there's no time left on the clock, so that means Johnson and Wales' opportunity to take away the match point for Boise State is likely over. You can't score 3 goals in no time. Boise State walks away with the game 2 victory, now at match point, and you can see they dominated this round with shots on goal, 82% in their favor. Boost use, side control, pretty equal still, 60% in favor of Boise State. They are doing something that is just absolutely taking away Antsi and Aang's opportunity to do things on the field. My advice going to Johnson and Wales is do not burn all your boost at once, start feathering it a bit more, because when I see your tanks go full, they go empty almost right away, and we are about to jump into game number 3. But before we get there, we want to give you a quick reminder that the Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams out there. They have over 10 jobs offering $20,000 in scholarships and your degree of in bonuses and your degree of choice paid for. Reach out to them at Idaho Army National Guard or at iGuard Gaming on Twitch. All right, so we've played some musical chairs here, but before we get to look at our chairs, we're going to take a look at stage. You can see our amazing Rocket League team up there. Hi, guys. No waves? All right.
Oh,
all right, thanks. What a shame. But we can see the other people that have joined us here this evening. We have an audience using up those fantastic theater seats we finally got to move in here. And they're here rooting on our Broncos for our ECAC game in Rocket League. It's a best of 5. We are at match point currently. Boise State up by 2 against Johnson and Wales. Let's hope that they can close this one out without a reverse sweep starting to creep its way up into the ranks here. Nerdy Bird on us for your host, but I have played we've made a magical swap, and now joining me is Greg Old Soul. Are you excited for this last game?
I'm so excited for this last game. Yeah, let's get into it.
It sounds like the clock the buzzer has gone off. The kickoff happened. We're about to see how that shook out. Hoping for not a quick goal. Thankfully, there was not. It does look like Aang has pushed forward, but Instinct was there at the corner waiting for them. Dre has an opportunity to score the goal here. And it does look like we're having a little bit of a slight technical difficulty. That does happen.
It does happen, but they're still chugging away back there, and I can hear the goals being scored. So we'll be waiting anticipantly to get in back to it.
I hope this time around Johnson & Wales is not boost starved as much as they were last time. It looks like they're doing slightly better. We do have a shot on goal from Dre that got turned away. Instinct was the one to save that. Gil now with possession, can't play it around one of the Johnson & Wales players, and unfortunately it is in the back third of the Boise State side of the field, so they need to do something to get this ball out of here.
Instinct going to send it up. It's taken from him, stuck in the corner there. They're trying to weasel it back out. It looks like they're going for a clear, and they're back onto the orange side. We love that. This corner's a little bit tricky to deal with, and we see a little bit of crowding over the ball, but it's a good save from Johnson & Wales right there, sending it back over into no man's land. Erase the ball, sends it back up to our side, and TC trying to let it back down slowly. Make sure it gets over Instinct, but it doesn't happen. Instinct able to guard it, setting us up with another clear back onto the good side.
Aang returns the volley. It's heading down into the corner on the Broncos side of the field, but it gets shot back. There was a double demolition that came out. Instinct shot. It's going to be a little bit too high. The follow-up touch, though, might be enough. And it is Danger finding goal number 1 in almost 90 seconds here in match number 3. Going into this kickoff, the 50-50 looks like it went in favor of Johnson & Wales. Danger, though, read it well in the corner, playing it slow. It's right in front of the goal, finally gets cleared. And it looks like there was a double shot and a save creditable Danger and Gill there. Finally, ball crossing the midfield. Danger goes for the shot off the back wall. The follow-up touch, though, is going to have the worst angle, and the physics won't work out in Boise State's favor, so it will be saved.
Man, Boise State just fighting for that security. We almost saw an early equalization by Johnson & Wales right in the mouth of the goal. It's been such close calls right now.
Ants looking to get possession here in the corner, has to play it around a couple Boise State players, but before they can do that, Instinct shoots it straight down onto the back there to Johnson & Wales. 2 are pushing up onto our Boise State players, leaving Gil wide open for the assist from Instinct. And with that, the Broncos will score another goal.
Beautifully played. Look at this replay. An absolute setup right top, waiting in his position to take it, and then jumps when it's his turn. That's just good communication.
Still have just over half of this game 3 left here. Boise State sitting at match point. Johnson & Wales down by 2. They got to clean something up, and I think honestly right now it's those double commits that are punishing them so much. Gil had 0 pressure on them for that shot on goal. And Instinct now with possession doesn't have pressure on them either, but the shot is saved by, I believe, Dre.
Danger looking to follow it up. Oh, a little bit too short there. It does get a good pop into an open spot for anyone to talk to. Dre with the reverse backup, trying to just get it out of there. Evens back out, looking to save it again. Goes up against the goal, and these saves are good. They're staying tight and placed to the goal, but I agree, those double commits are just not using the space quite efficiently as they could be.
Let's see if they can clean that up in the next 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Danger gets a great clear. Gil follows up that clear, trying to take it away from one of the Johnson & Wales players. Gil now elevating above the goal, looking to center it up for a teammate, sees someone, dunks it down to him. Instinct now has possession, very little pressure on them, plays it into the corner to themselves. It does finally get cleared by Johnson & Wales. Aang, and Aang has no pressure, shot on goal, saved by the 4th man, that crossbar, and Boise State already turning this one back around.
That crossbar will get you. Danger looking last second to try to get it back towards the goal with a good setup. It's not quite there, though.
Not
that
again.
Crossbar is fighting back. Just playing right here in the mouth of the goal. It is such quick communication trying to get the players on rotation fast enough to clear between those places.
That crossbar is not being anyone's friend this evening.
No,
it's
not.
stopped 2 of the Broncos' goals already. Let's hope they can work out that relationship here in the next minute and 23 seconds. Danger and Gil have pushed forward, trying to maintain ball possession. Shot, pass goes to Gil off the back wall. No one there to stop it. Gil finds goal number 4.
Yeah, that third goal, 3-0 now, a great security lead, but anything can change. It's still just got a full minute on the clock here.
We have seen 4 goals scored in 30 seconds here at for the Boise State Broncos in Rocket League, so it's not impossible, it's just very difficult. And Johnson & Wales needs to change things up a little bit, keep doing what Aang just did, just get it a little bit further to one side, because that crossbar is always going to be there. As we do see a double demolition, one onto Antsy and one onto Danger. Shot on goal by Dre will get saved by Instinct.
Those shots on goals right after the demolition is a good understanding of the playmaking, but man, they just have to really buckle down just a tiny bit more if they want to beat Boise State in just 50 seconds here.
Some great aerial play right now coming out from Dre. They will push it a little too far forward though and lose their dribble. Now ball has volleyed to the midfield. Ang tries to dunk it down and stop it from crossing with some help from Ansi. It finally gets across the midfield stripe into the back third on Boise State's side, but we've got 33 seconds left on the clock, and the Broncos are currently up by 3.
And at this point, digging it into the corners is Broncos' friend, as they're playing for time is an option.
Now Gill pops it up in front of the goal. We see an elevation come out from Ansi, who dunks it down. It is met on the ground by one of the Broncos, so Ansi has to get it again on the side of the wall. Broncos pushing up, corralling it here in the corner, trying to go for an extra morality goal for themselves at 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Ball hits the ground. The game is done. And Boise State will walk away with the Game 3 victory and the victory for the best of 5. All right, congratulations, Broncos. You won that in due fashion in a quick 3-0 against Johnson and Wales. Congratulations, guys. And still, that scoreboard does not reflect how hard Johnson and Wales definitely fought for that one. Did not make it easy, but congratulations nonetheless to our Boise State Broncos. And I know you weren't here for the entire thing, also, but we are going to do a quick player highlight real fast. But while we're doing that, it might give you the opportunity to look at these highlights and figure out who you want to nominate for player of the game.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Ooh, Gil.
Yeah, so we've got these little cute cards that are brought to you by our production staff and Doc. Gil was identified early as a natural leader. He was a great player, but his ability to elevate those around him was what caught our eye the most, courtesy of Doc. From Denver, Colorado, and a computer science major, Gil was one of the players you got to witness this evening, and we're about to see some fantastic highlights from him right now. All right, so you could see some spicy play from Gil, but know that Gil was not the only playmaker tonight. All 3 members popped off, so it's a little difficult, especially because we're focusing on Gil right now. I'm going to challenge you to not nominate Gil, but I won't lie, it's difficult not to want to nominate Gil as well.
That's fair, that's fair. In the spirit of not nominating Gil, because he gets enough screen time as it is, I'll go with Instinct. I feel like he had good ball control with the with what I got to see today.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to go with Danger.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to see if we're right or if production's just going to make us eat our words, which happens quite a bit. We cast or curse almost everything that we say.
Yep.
And, you know, at the end of the day, we just make suggestions. It's ultimately up to production to decide.
It really is, yeah. And the players.
Yes. So how much they popped off decides.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not on us if you guys didn't get it. Don't blame us.
Why did you submit Danger as your option?
Danger honestly did some fantastic play early on in game 1, and they did some insane demolitions that opened up goal scoring opportunities, and I love seeing demos that do that. So
Doc's Keys to the Game would be proud of creating those mistakes. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Danger, you're my vote for now, but at the end of the day, if you don't get it, don't blame me. And your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game is going to be... Yes, it is Danger! I was right. Congratulations, Danger. The player of the game is brought to you by the Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes the team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Danger is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Congratulations. All right, so before we prepare to close out, do you have any concluding thoughts here?
Not really. Don't double commit.
Yeah, honestly, double commits are the bane of everyone's existence.
Yep.
And mine is go to couples counseling with the crossbar. It seems like everyone had a bad relationship today with that crossbar.
It was up in arms.
Yeah, it really just did not want to have anyone have a good day.
Sometimes it felt like it was just reaching out and swatting the ball.
Yeah, it can feel like that sometimes. Well, congratulations, Broncos, on your 3-0 victory against Johnson and Wales. And congratulations, Danger, on getting the ICCU player of the game. And before we close out this portion of the broadcast, we'll be showing you the top 5 presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time with more than 10 jobs, offering $20,000 in bonuses and your degree of choice paid for. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. These are our pretty faces. Don't worry, by the way. We'll be back in a bit. But make sure that you take this break to go use the restroom and maybe get some food.
Or take some notes. These top 5 players are definitely top 5.
Yes, take notes. They're very important. Anyway, we'll be right back. have a lot of pressure from Johnson and Wales as the ball is sitting here in the back third on Boise State, and they are bunching up quite a bit. Instinct finds the clear
There it is.
with the touch from Danger. Goal number 1 for the Broncos. Down by 1 currently, still plenty of time left on the clock. Looks like the gears are finally getting well oiled and things are getting cleaned up for Boise State. Let's see if they can get another one of these.
Of course, and Gill is going to try to clear it. Anstey gets out of the way, actually. This is the opening for the Broncos.
Instinct
gets
yes!
the goal!
All right, Broncos are up by 1. There's still 14 seconds left on the clock, and Rocket League does what Rocket League does best and likes to pull the rug out from underneath everybody. There's still plenty of time on the clock. Grabs that ball off the ground, is in the air, trying to dunk it down onto someone, but Dre collides with them. Shot on goal from Danger. Goal number 2 for the Broncos. We are tied 1 aside, 92 seconds left on the clock in this first game of a best-of-5 series.
Sometimes it just takes a little time to get used to the other team, and you see Instinct back in the goal. They're no doubt doing
Instinct
something.
shoots it straight down onto the back there to Johnson and Wales. 2 are pushing up onto our Boise State players, leaving Gill wide open for the assist from Instinct. And with that, the Broncos will score another goal.
Beautifully played. Look at this replay. An absolute setup right top, waiting in his position to take it, and then jumps when it's his turn. That's just good communication.
Shot back. There was a double demolition that came out. Instinct shot. It's going to be a little bit too high. The follow-up touch, though, might be enough. And it is Danger finding goal number 1 in almost 90 seconds here in match number 3.